a fly ball to left field deep. Way back! Way back! This ball is gone! A walk-off home run! Newport Gulls win it here in the 11th.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Branham sets, kicks, and deals. Swinging and a strike three. The Newport Gulls are 2009 Eastern Division champions.
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Swinging a high drive to deep right. Oh, is this ball crushed? Way back and gone. Joey Manning with a towering shot. Swinging a high drive to deep left, and you can forget about it. Cal Conley with his third home run of the game.
Stay tuned. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his 8th season covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Nick Lima.
Hello and welcome to Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island, where for the 12th season in a row, the Newport Gulls are getting set for playoff baseball tonight. It's Game 1 of the NECBL quarterfinals, the Eastern Division semifinals, as the Newport Gulls host the Sanford Mainers in the first matchup of a 3-game series. It's Newport and Sanford. The playoffs begin tonight here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, as Daniel Wright will have the start for the Newport Gulls. We'll have the pregame show coming up as we continue here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field. Our Newport Gulls pregame show continues here before Game 1 of the playoff series versus the Sanford Mainers. Now joined by Sanford Mainers broadcaster Jacob Willett for the Newport Gulls Insider. Jacob, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you very much, Nick. Great to be here as always. And just ready for playoff baseball. That's all it's all about. So
good to see you back here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers faced off 8 times this regular season. In the season series, though, Newport took 7 out of 8.
Yeah, I mean, it was 7 out of 8 games, but I think you can even contest to the fact that, all eight games, it was just, it's almost playoff baseball between these two teams all season long. And so that's why, this first round of the playoffs, it's all about competing and who's going to come out the top dog in this one. It's always a close match between these two teams, and I'm excited to watch it and call it.
There's been a number of well-pitched games between these two ball clubs. Of course, Newport and Sanford lead the NECBL in Team ERA, first and second, respectively. And the Gulls, of course, only had 1 loss against the Sanford Mainers in the regular season, and that was a very close game.
Oh yeah, it was a fantastic game, and it was just again a 2-1 ball game, a low-scoring affair, and that game again all pitching, and just it was just one more opportunity that the Mainers capitalized on to pull out with a 2-1 victory. But I mean, all game long, all season long, it's been like that. Of course, here at Cardines Field, there was another game. It was 12-10, where it was more offense than pitching, and it's going to go both ways. I mean, so it's whoever's going to step into that box and focus more, and whoever's going to step on the hill and take charge when they need to be, and it's all about competing. It's all about whose head is in the game more.
Newport Gulls and Sanford Mainers have faced off 3 times in the past in playoff series. Only once, though, when they were in the same division. Twice, though, they faced off against each other in the NECBL Championship Series, Sanford taking both of them. Yeah,
I mean, those were good years. I mean, actually, manager Aaron Izaric for the Mainers was on that 2004 championship team, and so he's back here again in playoff fashion, and so of course, the Sanford Mainers taken only the first 2 times the Gulls and the Mainers faced off in the playoffs in the championship round because of the cross-division matchup stuff, and and then only once here when they're in the same division, and that one going all 3 games. The Mainers defeating the Gulls here, then the Gulls defeating the Mainers back at Goodall, and then the Gulls taking the final game here. And again, those games, the only big game was at Goodall when the Gulls won 8-0. Other than that, Mainers took the first game 3-2 and fell to the last game 4-2. All these teams are going to face off against each other like this all the time, and so I mean, I think I'd call you crazy if you didn't want to watch these 2 teams play in playoff fashion.
Goodall Park, always a tough ballpark to win in playoff baseball. The fan support's always been there for Sanford.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I just being back home for the last couple of days and listening, fans are ready to go. I mean, whether the Mainers pull out this one and go up 1-0, or the Gulls pull out this one and so the Mainers are down 0-1, it's the fans are ready to go. They're ready to support their home team, and I think you can say that about any fan base here around the NECBL.
I know Daniel Wright will have the start on the mound for the Newport Gulls. Who's the probable starter for the Mainers?
Last I heard, it was Ron Pierce, and Ron Pierce, freshman out of Canisius College. I think he's ready to go. He's been one of the Mainers' top pitchers all season long. A young arm, but definitely a strong arm, and his breaking stuff is there. And if he gets that working, then he's not. He's not an overpowering guy, but if he's got his location down and he's got his breaking ball down, then he's all set to go. And so it's going to be a tough matchup.
In reviewing the stats between the Newport Gulls and Sanford Mainers head-to-head, three of the best Gulls offensive players were Yale Rosen, Jeff Milillo, and Alex DeLeon. Of course, all three of those will be unavailable to start tonight's game, with Rosen home with an injury, with DeLeon going home mid-season to take a summer class, and with Milillo still day-to-day with a bruised bone in his foot. So with those top three offensive players going, it could be more of an even matchup here between Newport and Sanford, certainly more even than we saw earlier on in the summer. And beyond that, what could we see from the Mainers offensively? Who's been dangerous? Who's been hot as of late?
Well, the Mainers unfortunately had lost a couple players over the past couple of days. Eno Patron, who had been swinging a hot bat, had to leave the Mainers due to some prior engagements back out in California from his hometown. And and it's just like you look at guys like that, the top players for the Gulls, and losing a couple players here for the Mainers. And the one thing I've been focusing on over the past couple of days is that it's game one. The playoff record is 0-0. The stats from regular season to me don't matter anymore at this point in time. It's just like that was a number you got to where you were at the end of the season, and the only thing that matters is how the seeding took place. Other than that, stats don't matter coming in this game. It's anyone's ball game, and I think the Mainers are just going to scrape together what they have to work with, and they're going to go out there and play their hearts out. And I don't say that anyone else is not going to. But it's going to be more so is put together what you have to do.
The NECBL's second season begins tonight. Sanford Mainers broadcaster Jacob Willett, thanks for joining us here in the pregame show. We'll see you back up in the booth in a little while.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. Newport Gulls pregame show continues. The Gulls Eye View is next. We'll have Catherine Haas with us here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Thanks, Nick. Here we're joined by former catcher Jeff Milillo for the Gulls Eye View. Jeff, how are you? Mike, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Jeff's sitting right in front of me. I understand why you're a little confused. It's tough. It's tough to tell us apart.
It is actually. Someone actually thought it was you before. So what exactly is so special about tonight?
Well, the neat thing is the St. Baldrick's Foundation is the largest childhood cancer research fund in the United States today. And it's using a platform of baseball, something I'm very passionate about, to perpetuate a great cause. And it's really special because the Newport Gulls are the first summer collegiate team in the country that are doing it, hoping to set off a trend for next summer and really move this thing forward and, put college baseball in a positive light in terms of PR and really helping out the community.
So being a former Gull yourself, how does it feel to be back here at Cardines and know that tonight all the money we raise is going to a great cause?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, you can't beat the people here, the coaches. Coach Coombs was here when I played here, and it's a great, they build up a great community around here, and they've been nothing but helpful this entire process, and we're really looking forward to it, coming to a head tonight and seeing what we can do.
So exactly how's tonight going to go down? I know a lot of the players are all going to shave their heads, the coaches are going to shave their heads, and there's been rumors that Chuck may shave off his mustache. So what exactly is going to happen here tonight?
So the idea behind St. Baldrick's is that it generally was set up where you would do a fundraiser and say raise X amount of dollars at a local pub, a local concert, and the community would rally around and certain people would shave their heads. A friend of mine, Chase Jones, who started the baseball organization this year, decided to bring college baseball teams into it. And what happens is before the season or the event starts, you decide a certain amount of money that you want to raise. And if that money is raised after the game in solidarity with kids' cancer, all the players in the Newport Gulls and coaches are going to be getting their heads shaved and going bald in an effort to help raise awareness. A lot of special things will be going on during the game. We're going to have fun 50-50 raffles, competitions throughout the entire night, trying to get as much attention that we can to it. We're currently sitting at $12,250. The goal tonight would be to get somewhere in the $17,000 range. Would be a really, really special night. And we just got word that Chuck Pava, who has not shaved his mustache in 35 years, said if over $1,000 is raised tonight, it'll come off. So really looking forward to everything, and it's going to be a fun night. At this point, we've raised a substantial amount of money, and it's all win-win here.
Have all the players said they'd shave their heads, or are some a little skeptical and not one?
No, all the players and all the coaches. I did bribe a couple of them, saying that karma might come back and get them if they don't do it. But no, they are. Everybody's in, and it's pretty special. Some of these guys have a lot of hair, and it's going to be a funny-looking team tomorrow. They might be a little faster.
So being back in Cardines must bring back some great memories for you. What's the greatest memory you have of playing here?
Oh, no question. We won the championship in 2009. Some of my best friends for the rest of my life. We still talk on a regular basis. Winning the championship here for Newport and really celebrating it. The playoffs are the best here. Anytime you can play in a meaningful game. The regular season's a lot of fun, but when you can really play in front of a crowd and the games mean something, it's do or die, go home. There's nothing more fun. It's what you practice and play for.
So how's it like to have your little brother here playing the same position that you played for on the Gulls?
No, it's good. He did a lot better than I did this season, than I ever did here. So he's got bragging rights for a while and, well, forever since I'm done playing. So I can't really say much anymore. But, no, it's been fun. It's nice to be able to still be around the guys and hang out and, come around here. And he's had a great season, and I really hope that they can keep going here in the playoffs.
All right, well, thank you very much. The front office report is next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back here at Cardines Field in Newport. Thank you very much, Catherine Haas, as our pregame show continues. Now time for the front office report as we join at the start of every playoff series at home. Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Paver joins us now. Chuck, once again, the Gulls are in playoff baseball here in their 12th season in Newport.
Exciting time, Nick. It's a very special time for these young men. They come here in June, they don't know what to expect. They're a member of this club. They know there's history, they know there's tradition, but they've got to, understand it themselves. They come and they play and they kind of see for themselves what this is all about. And these guys have put themselves in this position, Nick. I couldn't be more proud of them. Look at the offensive year they had from what you sent to me today, Nick. And by the way, outstanding job on your part. Sending me all those records that they established this year. It's pretty special. This is a special group of men. They're committed. They're driven. They have one goal in mind, and that's to win the big one. And that's what it's all about, Nick. Listen, we all understand this is summer baseball, but when you come here and you're in this position, they want to make their own legacy. They want to put their own stamp on this club, on this team, on these young men who've come and played in our uniform for the 2012 summer. So, I'm excited for them. This is a special time of the year, and it's time to get after it.
Newport Gulls became the first team in league history to win 4 Fay Vincent Senior Cups in 2009. They could be the first one to do it here in 2012 to win 5 Fay Vincent Senior Cups, but they're still 6 wins away from that mark.
It's a very difficult task, Nick. We have been in this situation, I believe, 7 out of 11 years in the finals, not just in the playoffs. We've been in the playoffs probably all the years. 11 out of 11 years we've been in the playoffs. But to get to the championship, it's really difficult. You have to be lucky. You have to be good. Everything has to be working well at the right time. And the little things have to happen. I mean, we've been with great teams going to a playoffs and get, squashed quick. So this team is committed. Let's see what happens. I think this team has everything that it needs to go as long as they want to. And I know they want to go all the way.
We've talked about the offensive stats. The Gulls setting new NECBL records as a team with doubles, with on-base percentage, with RBI, runs scored. But some of the on the defensive side, the pitching side, despite the offensive year around the NECBL, the Newport Gulls pitching staff still had the best team ERA in the league. And Daniel Wright, tonight's Game 1 starter, was a leader on the staff, going 6-0.
Nick, I've said before the season started that I thought the pitching would be what really carries this club. I was wrong. The offense carried it, but the pitching also carried this club. Just because it was a high ERA, they did what they had to do to win baseball games. I think overall in the league, the offense was up. I think the pitching was down. I'm not talking about the quality of pitching, but for some reason, whether it was a juice ball or what, for some reason, there was a lot of offense, and the pitching ERAs were high. The Gulls historically have been somewhere around 2 to 3. 1.5 to 3 ERAs, and you looked at those comparisons as I do, they came under 4, which was nobody's in this league is under 4. So that tells me these guys are on their way doing what they need to do to make this team complete.
Daniel Wright has won 6 out of 7 starts during the season. He's appeared in 8 games overall. The Gulls have won all 8 of those games he's appeared in. And this is his second season here with Newport. We're expecting big things from him here tonight in Game 1 against Sanford, a team that he's only faced once in 1 inning of relief.
Daniel Wright's been our go-to guy all summer. We've had some great pitchers, and they all are good. Daniel Wright, I couldn't be happier for him because this is a return year for him. He was a reliever last year. He tasted what it was all about to try to win here. They fell short last year, so he has a chance to come back here and perhaps have a little bit more influence on what the outcome is. You know, his teammate, ironically, threw the first game for us last year from Arkansas State, Jacob Lee. He was cruising through that game. I think I was sitting back there watching this game. I was really comfortable. It was 3-1 score in the 7th inning or so. I thought this game is in the books. Jacob Lee's on the bump. It didn't turn out that way. It turned real sour on us pretty quick. And then we ended up losing the next game. So we take nothing for granted. We got to get out there, and Daniel Wright's the right man on the job today. You know, he's been our leader, and hopefully he gets his 7th win tonight.
Offensively, we've seen a couple of team leaders have to move on this season. Yale Rosen with an injury. Alex De Leon had to go take a summer class. Jeff Melillo has been hurt the last week of the season, remains day-to-day. What's his status right now, and how can the rest of the Newport Gulls offense stepped up? Not that they haven't already.
Well, you know, it just seems like this team, the character of this team has always been who's going to do it tonight. They have some very good players, 1 through 9, and the guys who don't start are very good and can come in and step in and make a difference. So it's who does it tonight and who does it tomorrow night and then who does it the next night. As a team, they got to figure that out. You know, you can't worry about the guys you don't have. You got to think about the guys you have. And they have enough firepower on this club to just keep rolling like they have been. Jeff Melillo's injury, he's ready to go. He thinks he's ready to go. He said he's ready to go. I know he's a little sore and tender, but that's Jeff's competitiveness coming out in him, and he just wants to compete and play. So I think he'll be part of this series, and he'll be part of this whole playoff matter when it's all said and done. He's going to make a difference.
Przinski, Ort, Melillo, Canary, Daniel Wright. Talk about the Newport Gulls that come back here for a second season. 5 players coming back along with the entire coaching staff. They were all there last summer in Laconia when the Newport lost and Muskrats walked off to win against the Gulls on the road. They're all looking for revenge and looking to get a little further now in the postseason now after that season.
Well, you know, after that series, Nick, it's really not a revenge factor because it's a whole new group of guys. That team's different. So is this team that we're playing tonight. It's really more a matter of they know what happened last year and they don't want it to happen to them. So they're going to do everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen to them. They're ready to go.
Talked about the offense, talked about the pitching. As far as defense goes, the Gulls have been right up there with the Sanford Mainers in the middle of the pack, 5th or 6th in the league in fielding percentage and errors committed. But they've been towards the top all season long on the infield defense. Double plays turned has been right around there, 2nd or 3rd in the league, and that's been a key factor in getting pitchers out of a lot of jams.
This team is a very good defensive team. Our outfield is good. We had a couple games we didn't play quite as good as we should or could have, but we're pretty good defensively in the outfield. We got some speed in center field. We got guys in the corner who can make plays and plus arms. I've seen these guys throw out more guys at second base on trying to make a double out of a single than I ever have. So that tells me that these guys are defensive in the outfield as well. Our infield is good as anywhere. We got a great infield up the middle. A combination of guys, no matter who you throw out there, we're pretty defensive. Listen, we're going to play good defense. This team is ready. There's no holes here.
Mike Coombs is back here with an 8th season as a manager of the Newport Gulls. He's made 8 playoff appearances, and as a veteran manager, what are you expecting from him here tonight managing this team? And do you expect him to say anything special to these guys, or is it just up to them to go out there and play baseball?
You know, he'll say what he needs to say. He's a real professional at this. He's been down this road so many times. We talked about it last night. We had a team dinner at my house yesterday for the team and the coaching staff. The team left after that, and the coaching staff got together, and we talked baseball. And Mike knows exactly what he needs to do. He's been down this road. He doesn't want to let happen what happened last year. That's his biggest priority in this thing. And I think he's set to go. Our coaching staff is all set. Everybody's got a game plan, and so we just need to execute it. And we talked about earlier, you talked about our, our defensive guys. I remember in 08, we had a very good team, very good offensive team, but we weren't really good defensively. We had a couple of guys out of position in the infield. We had a first baseman playing second. We had a second baseman playing third, and it showed. It made a difference. That's not going to happen with this club because these are position guys from those positions, and we're going to be fine.
Newport Gulls also have a special night here off the field. It's baseball night.
Yes, it is. It's one of I think it's going to be the most meaningful night of the summer. We've been planning this for a long time. Tonight's baseball night. Our players are going to shave their heads. Some business people around the community are going to shave their heads. I think that by the end of tonight, there'll probably be a total contribution of $20,000, and that's going to be awfully significant. Hey, you know something else, Nick? If we can raise $1,000 tonight, I'm going to shave my mustache.
That was the rumor.
And I've never shaved my mustache. It's never been shaved in my life. So this will be the first, and it's going to be tonight because I'm sure we'll get $1,000.
Looking forward to a special night for the Newport Gulls, both on and off the field. Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Baber, thanks for joining us as always here in the Front Office Report. Good luck tonight in Game 1 against the Sanford Mainers.
Thank you so much, Nick. These guys are ready to go.
That's our Front Office Report. Mike Coombs is next as the pregame show continues on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field as our Newport Gulls pregame show continues. Now here in playoff baseball, time for the Manager's Show, joined by Newport Gulls 8-time manager Mike Coombs. And Skip, you've been here before, as have several of these players coming back from last year's team in the postseason. It's the second season. Not much matters now compared to what Newport did in the regular season. The record is ever broken. It's all reset to 0 here today as the Gulls start with a 0-0 record facing the Sanford Mainers.
Sure it is. It's that's what it is, and that's where both teams want to be, and tee it up and let's go.
These two teams did have some very close games against each other in the regular season, and while the Gulls were 7-1 against Sanford, that number could have very easily been very different.
Sure. Every game that Sanford and Newport played were great games. We've had some really good contests with them, and they're a great club. They play hard and they get after it.
We've got the Newport Gulls lineup already set to go tonight. Charlie White in that leadoff spot, and he's been sensational. He's been on base better than 500%, better than 500 on base percentage coming into the end of the season.
Yeah, you never want to talk about that though. You got to let things kind of lie with that, and don't worry about that. And thanks, bro. That was good. And you just have to, go with it. Hopefully, things will be the same, and he'll do a good job.
Daniel Wright will be the Game 1 starter for the Newport Gulls. He's a 2-time Gull. He leads the team in wins with 6-0 on the season. As we're expecting to see big things from him on the mound tonight against Sanford, a team that he only faced once in one inning of relief, has not started against this season. So the Mainers will be hopefully trying to figure him out.
Well, throw that 6-0 out too, right? Says we all start over from square one and we go from there. So. Danny's a quality guy, quality pitcher, and, we're giving him the ball to see what he can do tonight.
With the Wright starting tonight, what's the rest of the Gulls playoff rotation shaping up for?
Tonight is Dan Wright, and tomorrow is John Hochstetter.
So that's the only announced pitcher for the Newport Gulls on the road tomorrow, and Gulls go to Goodall Park for the second game of this 3-game series, and Newport, of course, always looking to try and get that first win here at home. How important is that?
The most important is getting the first win. You're at home. That's what we grinded it out for, is to get home field advantage, and that's where these guys are and how hard they've worked for it, how hard Coach Leva and Coach Long have worked for to get that home field advantage, and that's the deal. That's what we want, and that's what we got, and hopefully we can carry it through.
The Gulls did have the best record in the New England Collegiate Baseball League, securing home field advantage throughout the playoffs at 31-10, matching that 2009 win mark of 31-10. Newport never got to go for a chance to tie the old record of 32-10, as they never played that last game of the season. They get probably a much valued off day yesterday.
Oh, a real good off day. Beach day, the chairs, jump in the water, a couple bevies here or there, and you always need a day off.
Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers, what are the keys to the ball game here tonight for Newport?
Hit the baseball, throw the baseball, catch the baseball, and play errorless baseball and play great defense and pitch. Leave the rest to the baseball people.
You said before the defense wins championships, and this defense has been very good at the double play ball this season.
Well, that's you're right. Defense does win championships, so that's what we're looking for, and play a good, solid defense and go from there.
Skip, you have a saying when it comes to this time of the year that you also apply to the regular season about pacing of the game, of how you take one pitch at a time.
Yeah, you just got to – right now we're just taking one game at a time, and, one inning at a time, one out at a time, and one pitch at a time, and just go from there. And it can be a grind sometimes, especially when fans are sitting up there thinking it's all boring, but down here it's not boring. It's all part of the game of baseball, and that's why we play it.
Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs, thanks for joining us here in the pregame show. Good luck tonight in the series, Game 1 against the Sanford Mainers.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
That's our pregame visit with Mike Coombs. Newport Gulls playoff baseball is next. It's the Gulls and the Mainers as the pregame show continues right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And hello again from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, as we get set for a playoff baseball. It's the Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers, Game 1 of the NECBL Eastern Division semifinals. Newport and Sanford matching up for the 4th time in their respective franchise histories in the postseason. The Mainers own the all-time series record 2-1, but the Gulls taking the last one when these two teams met for the first time as members of the division. Of course, here in the NECBL East, Mainers, a former member of the NECBL North and West. Mainers, of course, winning 2 championship series against the Newport Gulls, both of them here at Cardines Field. The Gulls taking a playoff series against the Mainers the last time these two teams met. Tonight, it's the first round of the playoffs, the NECBL quarterfinals. Daniel Wright will have the start for the Newport Gulls. Ron Pierce the start for the Sanford Mainers. And here to join us in the booth, the voice of the Sanford Mainers, Jacob Willett. Welcome back here to Cardines Field.
Oh, thank you very much, Nick. Like we're just here. It was about what was it? Monday we were here. So at not that much of a turnaround, and here now for playoff baseball, and it's going to be a good one.
These two teams have been battling it out all season long. While the Gulls did own a 7-1 record against the Sanford Mainers, many of those wins were by narrow margins, and a couple of them come from behind fashion, including that extra inning game, the wild one. That was a real catalyst, a real turning point in the season for the Newport Gulls, as they won in 11 innings in a suspended game that was finished here at Cardines Field. It saw an ejection of Mike Coombs. It saw 2 injuries, including one to Jeff Melillo, who remains day-to-day, remains not available to start for the Newport Gulls, so he could be available later on in this series as the Mainers come in 15-26, 4th place in the NECBL East. The Newport Gulls 31-10, 1st place in the East, and the best record in the NECBL. Newport will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, look at the if you look at the Mainers record, it just the numbers aren't exactly. They don't portray what this Mainers team is capable of. As we talked about in the pregame show, you have a team that's 15-26, but playing a team that's ended the season 31-10. These two teams play each other more closely than I have seen pretty much any team in the rest of the NECBL. So it's just as I've been talking about for the past week or so. You know, when entering the playoffs, besides the seeding, the stats from the regular season don't matter. It's a whole clean slate. Anything can happen, and I mean, you just look back at 2004 when the Mainers finished 4th in what was the North Division at the time, the Northern Division at the time. They finished in 4th place and played all 9 possible playoff games and came out with the championship in the end.
The Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers, Game 1 of a 3-game series. We'll have a look around the NECBL, the starting lineups, and the first pitch all on the way as our Newport Gulls pregame show continues here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. As we look around the NECBL, of course, 8 teams making it to postseason competition out of the 10. Of course, this is the first year the NECBL has had 10 teams in more than a decade, dropping 2 from last season. In the NECBL East, it's the Newport Gulls hosting the number 4 Sanford Mainers. Newport finishing with the best record in the NECBL at 31-10, a 756 winning percentage. The Gulls, the best record at home, 18-2 here at Cardines Field. Also the best record in the league on the road, tied with both Keene and New Bedford. They went 13-8 away from Cardines Field, 25-7 versus Eastern Division opponents, 6-3 versus the West, and 7-1 against the Mainers. Come in at 15-26, 16 games back of the Gulls. Lost 3 to end the season, a 366 winning percentage. The Mainers went 6-14 on the road, 9th best in the league, 9-12 at home, 8th best. Again, just 1-7 against Newport. The Mainers did have a few losses in the Holyoke Blue Sox, but the NECBL Western Division really beat up against each other this season as Holyoke just missed a playoff spot. We'll give you the division standings in the West, Keene Swamp Bats at 29-13, finished the season with a 3-game winning streak, a 690 winning percentage, second best in the league, and 5.5 games ahead of the Danbury Westerners, who dropped their last 2 at 23-18. The Northampton Steelcats at 22-20,
are 7 games back of the first place Keene Swamp Bats. Vermont Mountaineers 18-23, playing Keene tonight, 10.5 games back and lost 2 to end the season. Danbury and North Adams are playing the second, third place game tonight in the West, and Holyoke is on the way home. In the East, New Bedford is playing Laconia tonight at Paul Walsh Field in New Bedford, Massachusetts. That's a 6:30 start time. All of the games starting at 6:30. New Bedford finished the season at 25-17, 6.5 games back of the first place Newport Gulls. New Bedford managed a 4-4 record against the Gulls in Dunkin' Donuts Cup play this season. So a 500 record for New Bedford against Newport, the only team to do that in the East. Gulls had a 7-1 series advantage over the other 3 opponents, Laconia, Sanford, and the Mystic Schooners. Laconia finished at 17-24, 14 games back. Maynards again at 16 games back, and the Mystic Schooners did win their last 3 games of the season, but they fell down to 9-31, just a .225 winning percentage, 5th place in the East, and they have gone home. So the last 8 teams remain in the NECBL postseason competition. Tonight is Vermont at Keene, North Adams at Danbury, Laconia at New Bedford, and Sanford here at Newport. We'll be back with the starting lineups, the national anthem, and the first pitch. That's all to come as our Newport Gulls pregame show continues on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. It was a great season for the Newport Gulls, 31-10 record. That matched their 2009 record, the second best record in NECBL history. Of course, it was the 2006 Gulls that went 32-10. Newport did not play yesterday. Neither did any other team in the league. There were no games scheduled on the league-wide makeup date. As the Gulls finished with 41 games, they never made up that game with the Vermont Mountaineers to go for a tie of the all-time league record. But the Gulls still had a very good season here in Newport. They set 6 offensive records, 99 doubles, 310 RBI, 422 on base percentage. That beat the old record by more than 40 points. A 925 team OPS and 347 runs scored. That's 50 more than the old record, which had stood for 12 years. And now the Newport Gulls are getting set for what could be their 5th run at the NECBL Championship. They've won 4, 2001, 2002, 2005, and 2009. But they've also lost 4. Several here at Cardines Field. They've lost to the Vermont Mountaineers. They've lost twice to the Sanford Maynards in the NECBL Championship Series. And it'll be between Keene, Danbury, North Adams, and Vermont in the West, and Newport, New Bedford, Laconia, and Sanford in the East. Game 1 of the 2012 NECBL Eastern Division semifinals is coming up here at Cardines Field. We'll have the starting lineups here with you in a moment on a very special night at Cardines Field. It's Aquatic Medical Baseball Night as we go to bat for kids with cancer. This is a night that was rescheduled, rained out earlier on in the season, and it's got a lot of publicity, a lot of talk around New England. Newport Gulls and the Sanford Maynards here getting ready for Game 1 of the postseason, but the Gulls off the field have a very special night here at Cardines Field. The St. Baldrick's Foundation and Aquatic Medical Associates partnering with the Newport Gulls for baseball night. And tell you about how this works. The number of players, the entire coaching staff, even Gulls general manager Chuck Paver has agreed if they raise enough money, if they reach their target figures, to shave their heads. Chuck Paver will shave his mustache for the first time in his life if they raise enough money here for kids' cancer. Let's take it down to the field and pick up former goal Mike Melillo, who coordinated this.
That anybody wants to come back to. And I'm just going to touch briefly on what we did up into this event tonight and those who have helped. We started an effort back in July to raise money for the St. Baldrick's Foundation. The St. Baldrick's Foundation is the largest childhood cancer research fund in the United States today and was previously not associated with baseball. A close friend of mine, Chase Jones, who plays at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, when he was a freshman, was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor. And when Chase got told the news, he wrote a recent article about his reaction to it. And what he said was, I wasn't angry, I wasn't upset. I was 19 years old, I'd gone to prom, I had my first kiss, I had my first date. Everything was good. I'd accomplished the things in my life that I wanted to. 3 weeks later, Chase was in the hospital, and his roommate in the hospital was a 4-year-old who was going through the same treatment. And Chase's immediate reaction was, how unfair is this? I've had the experience of a lifetime to go through everything I have. I've got to play in the College World Series. I've got to experience everything I've ever wanted to, and he's 4 years old sitting in the same situation. How can I complain about this? So as Chase became more familiar with the situation and what was going on, Chase realized that the St. Baldrick's Foundation was a direct sponsor of his doctor. The unfortunate nature of childhood cancer is not many doctors going into the field really want to go on to oncology. That's not a very, oftentimes can be a very unrewarding field. So what St. Baldrick's does directly is they sponsor some of the top medical students to carry their studies on to oncology to help out in this fight. What we've done and what Chase has done starting this year, Chase brought the effort to baseball and has brought up over $300,000 this year he's raised for the fight. Newport Gulls, as they continue to do, set the example for summer baseball and are the first summer collegiate team in the country ever to do this. And we're hoping that this trend sets on moving forward. There have been several people instrumental in this effort, and we're trying to make this come to a head tonight and celebrate everything that we've done. We've already raised over $13,000, and we're trying to raise even more tonight. Every dollar makes a difference. I truly believe in that, and I truly think that you guys can make a difference tonight in helping us get to $15,000. What we're going to be trying to do tonight, just so everybody knows, is that at the conclusion of the game, everybody standing here for the Newport Gulls will be going bald on the field at the conclusion of the game. They will all be getting their head shaved. And if I can, please give them a round of applause. As you can see, some of them are going to look a little different. It might hurt a couple of them. They're going to wear baseball hats. My brother is not the fastest individual, so it might make him a little quicker. But really, we're going to have events going on throughout the day. I know you guys have a lot of kids with you, but I implore you to stay toward the end of the game. Come on down the field, take pictures. If you guys would like to get your head shaved, men, women, children, whoever would like to, we have barbers set up outside the stadium right now, and you guys can get your head shaved and take a picture on the field after the game. So I'm going to pass it on to Felice Feingold, who's been instrumental in helping me bring this to the community, and she's going to give you guys a little bit more about some celebrities we have shaving their heads tonight.
Thank you everyone for coming tonight. It's definitely a special evening and a great cause. And I want to give a special thank you to some volunteers from our community here, Ralph and Tom Earp and Matt Cullen, who put bounties on their head to shave their head and helped us raise the money tonight that Matt mentioned. So there's a lot of long hair here on Matt, and his bounty was $7,000 on this head, so it was a very special one for us. So thanks, guys.
Felice is a big supporter of the Gulls, and she has been for many years.
Newport Gulls General
Let's
Manager
give
Chuck
Felice
Baber.
a hand for her continued success and the help. Very impressive. She got Mr. Cohen here to cut that hair. We're very honored to have you come here tonight. Thank you so much. I'd like to also introduce Ernie Blasacchio.
So here we are on Newport Gulls baseball tonight, as well as Game 1 of the 2012 NECBL Eastern Division semifinals. Dick Lehman alongside Jacob Wollett here with you as we pick up live coverage of the baseball pregame ceremonies here, as the Gulls have bounties placed in their heads if there enough money was raised here tonight by the fans at Cardines Field, and also through donations that they received throughout the summer. A number of players and coaches will be shaving their heads here in support of finding a cure for kids' cancer and cancer research. So a very important night here for the Newport Gulls off the field, and a very important night on the field, Jacob, as the Gulls and the Mainers get set here for Game 1.
I mean, between the awareness of what it is to try to cure cancer sometime in the future, hopefully the near future, and you combine that with the intensity of what playoff baseball is all about, the kind of the environment here in Cardines Field could probably not be any better.
There are 3 cancer survivors out there in the field right now. Let's pick up Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Baber as he introduces them.
Cancer survivor at age 11.
Jacob McAllister. Each of these cancer survivors having the opportunity to throw out the first pitch here.
Great job, Jacob. That's a great pitch. Next we have Hannah Wharton. She's from Portsmouth. Another cancer survivor at the age of 9. Come on, Hannah. Great job. Lastly, we have Kristen Malazewski from Middletown. Cancer survivor at age 17, folks. Nice job. That's a strike. Strike out cancer.
We're here on baseball as the Gulls and a quick medical and the St. Baldrick's Foundation go to bat to cure kids' cancer.
Lastly,
Some cancer survivors throwing out the first pitch here at Cardines Field. Again, Gulls General Manager Chuck
let me
Paver.
just read what I have here. It might be a little difficult, but I'll get it done. I happen to coach his other son. He's been a friend, but I'll share a story. John F. Montanaro III was born on August 10th in 1991. He had a liver transplant when he was 11 weeks old and grew up as a typical healthy little boy. He loved dinosaurs, trains, the color blue, and chocolate. More than anything, he loved dogs. He loved them. His love for them was immediate and everlasting. In August of 2002, John was given his first dog, an English Labrador Retriever that was named Yogi after his favorite player, Yogi Berra. The two became inseparable. In January 2005, at the age of 13, John was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Later that year, Yogi was diagnosed with skin cancer. The two went through chemotherapy together, serving as loving and supportive friends for one another. Yogi's treatment ended after 8 months, but John endured multiple relapses that caused his treatment to keep going on. During the subsequent years, John, while continuing his valiant fight against leukemia, engaged in philanthropic endeavors to help those around him. John's selfless acts and careless in his courage should be inspiration for all of us. With great sadness, on April 26, 2011, just a little over a year ago, John lost his battle with leukemia. John's final wish was for those who loved him to continue to contribute to the help to carry on the work that he had begun. Tonight's game is dedicated in his memory. I'd like to ask his dad to step out here. The Newport Gulls would like to honor his son tonight with a game jersey with his name on the back. It's the first one we've ever done. John, thank you for your courage. Thank you for all that you do to fight this terrible disease. You lived it and we haven't, and I'm sorry for that. But we're your friends. Thank you. Now tonight, I'd like to ask you all to stand and honor America by singing the national anthem tonight, performed by Claire O'Connor.
Claire O'Connor will be singing our national anthem.
Claire's
Very
enforcement.
emotional night here at Cardines Field. Start of the playoffs. Also, quick medical baseball night. The St. Baldrick's Foundation. Let's take it down to the field for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Claire O'Connor with an outstanding rendition of our national anthem here at Cardines Field as our pregame festivities extended here tonight on a Quinnipiac baseball night. Very special night here for the Newport Gulls as we get set for baseball. There's only one thing left to do here tonight, Jacob Willett, before we get the first pitch, and that's to give you the starting lineups. And here to take you with the starting lineups for the visiting Sanford Mainers, the voice of the Mainers, Jacob Willett.
Thank you very much, Nick. Leading off for the Mainers is Will Cooper. He'll be in left field tonight. Jordan Hagel will be batting second in center field. Anthony Hajar will be at third base batting third. Doing the cleanup in the fourth slot at shortstop is Jordan Betts. Nate LaPointe will be behind the plate doing the catching batting fifth. Jose Taralba at second base batting sixth. Gavin Stark over at first base batting seventh. John Gorman will be doing the DHing tonight batting eighth. And Cam Young will be in right field rounding out the order batting ninth.
They'll face off against Daniel Wright, the Arkansas State University Red Wolf. He's here for his second season with the Newport Gulls and his second postseason. No record in one relief appearances was effective, though, in the postseason last year. 2011 for Newport, 3-1, a 2.43 ERA in 10 games, making 2 starts. But this season, he's been the ace. 6-0 record, 7 game starts. Started, leads the team in 8 games overall. 6'3", 200-pound right-hander out of Bartlett, Tennessee. He's worked 45 2/3 innings, allowing 48 hits, 20 runs, all the Marin, walking 11, fanning 42, team second best. He has a complete game shutout on the season in 7 innings, and Wright will be the starter for Game 1 tonight for the Newport Gulls. We'll send Charlie White to leadoff spot. White, the center fielder, batting second. Connor Canary, the second baseman. Hitting third is Casey Cobbin, the left fielder. Batting cleanup is Brett Winger, the designated hitter. Batting fifth, the first baseman is Steve Anderson. Austin Slater starts at third base at bat sixth. Matt Perret, the catcher, bats seventh. Joel McKeithen will bat eighth and start at shortstop. And the right fielder, batting ninth, rounding out the order for the Newport Gulls. Again, back for a second postseason, it's Rob Ort. They'll face off against Ron Pierce.
Ron Pierce has appeared in 9 games for the Mainers. He started 7 of them, so 2 appearances out of the bullpen. He's thrown 42 2/3 innings, giving up 39 hits, 18 runs. 13 of those runs earned. He's walked 13, struck out 27, and he ended the regular season 2-3 with a 2.74, which was team best on the team as far as starters go. Jerry Ferris, who joined the team as of late, was just ahead of him with a 2.70 ERA, and that was only in 4 games. So Pierce noted as the top starter for the Mainers, and he'll get that nod here for Game 1.
Game time temperature 82 degrees under partly sunny skies here at Cardines Field. Some high clouds overhead, a threat of showers later on in the evening. A south-southwesterly wind blows at 10 to 15 miles per hour off the sea. Sea breeze here, the ocean only about a block away from left to right. I hope the ball carry out towards right field. A 3-man umpiring crew throughout the playoffs in the NECBL. The umpires for tonight's game, Tim Carey calling balls and strikes behind the plate, Jeff January, the field umpire, and John Keegan, the umpire, at third. The Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers will get the postseason underway next with the first pitch when we come back after this here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island as we get set for baseball. Jacob Willett, Nick Lima here with you on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Also picking up coverage on AM 1220, The Legends, WWSF up in Sanford, Maine. And we get set for baseball here tonight as the first pitch of the ball game skips in the dirt for ball 1 from Daniel Wright as our playoff series is underway here at Cardines Field. Wright facing Will Cooper, hitting .274, no homers, 6 RBI in the regular season. As the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 1, a fastball from Wright. We'll see a fastball, changeup, curveball, and slider from Daniel in his second season with the Newport Gulls. A 6-0 record, an ERA at 3.94, ninth best on the team. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Strike 2 and a breaking ball. Quickly the count 1-2 on Cooper. The leadoff spot, a 349 OBP, 9 walks in the season. Appeared in 30 games for the Mainers in regular season play. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball bouncer and 2 hops for Connor Canary. At second, throws the first in time. There's 1 away. Here in the first, will set the defensive alignment for the Newport Gulls. Steve Anderson's over at first base. Connor Canary at second. Joe McKeithen, the shortstop, out. And Austin Slater over at third. Outfield from left to right. Casey Coffin, Charlie White, and Rob Ort. Matt Perret catches Daniel Wright with Jeff Melillo still day-to-day. He may be available to pitch hit, though, tonight. Jordan Hagel batting .356 to lead the team. 4 homers, 21 RBI, team high 8 doubles leads in the pitch. A curve misses for ball 1. This is home plate umpire Tim Carey. In a 3-man crew, Jeff January, the umpire at first, and John Keegan at third. Hagel, the 1-0 pitch to him, swung on and drilled to left field deep. Going back, Coffin still going back, looking up at the wall, and it's gone.
Yeah, Hagel got every bit of that ball, and you could hear it on the bat, too, especially if the field mic picked that up. It got all wood, and Coffin kind of took a few steps back to the wall, but that one was long out of here and just next to that playground out in left field as well.
So the Sanford Mainers strike first here in the 3-game series as Jordan Hagel hits his first playoff home run. He had 4 in the regular season. A team high 21 runs scored. He crosses the plate with the first run of the Newport Sanford series. 1 out, 1 in as Anthony Hajar will come to the plate. Hajar hitting .344, second best on the team, takes the first pitch strike. 2 homers, 27 RBI, 7 doubles, second on the team with 19 runs scored. Leading in hits with 45 and batted .429 against the Newport Gulls. That led the Mainers in their 8-game season series with Newport as the 0-1 is fouled back for strike 2. Daniel Wright gave up 7 homers this season, most of them solo shots. As the 0-2 is a ground ball bouncer to third, a tough hop for Slater. He has it, double clutches, throws the first, and there are 2 down. Wright started 7 games for Newport, appeared once in relief against the Sanford Mainers, worked 1 inning, striking out 3, giving up a hit in that 11-inning game that was suspended by rain and resumed here at Cardines Field. Jordan Betts, the cleanup man, comes up to the plate, 2 outs. 1 run in for the Mainers, who lead 1-0. Betts hitting .289, a team high 11 homers and 38 RBI through regular season play. The first pitch he sees is low ball 1 as the lights come on here at Cardines Field under somewhat overcast skies, a little fog in the distance. A 1-0 from Wright. Fastball in there for a strike, the count 1-1. Betts led the second of the team with 38 strikeouts, led the run scored with 21, and slugging percentage at .572, the 1-1. Curve is popped up right side and out of play. Second with a .925 OPS. He did appear in 41 games for the Sanford Mainers. Was the most on the team. All 41 they played. The Gulls played 41 as well.
Jordan Betts breaking both the team home run and RBI record.
As the 1-2 is lined to right, but there is Rob Ort to make the catch. For the out, there retires the side. Daniel Wright gives up a solo home run to Jordan Hagel. Other than that, gets out of the inning on a pair of groundouts and a flyout after half an inning from Cardines Field. Sanford Mainers 1, Newport Gulls coming to bat here in Game 1 of the NECBL Eastern Division semifinals on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. 1-0, the Mainers on top as the Gulls will be batting for the first time here in the first inning. Send Charlie White, Connor Canary, Casey Kaufman, the first 3 to throw up to face Ron Pierce.
Ron Pierce, as I was stating in the pregame show, for those who weren't able to catch that pregame show, Pierce, he's a location and breaking ball type of pitcher, not an overpowering guy, and if he can hit his spots and get that breaking ball working, he should have a pretty successful night. So hopefully here we'll see, for the Mainers, we'll see hopefully a good performance out of Pierce.
Charlie White fought off an injury in the month of June, but became an everyday starter for the Gulls in July. White appeared in 23 games, starting 17 of them. Hit .365, 2 home runs and 10 RBI. 19 walks in those 17 starts. And has earned the spot as the leadoff hitter for the Newport Gulls. His last 5 games of the season, he hit .412. Was a real catalyst for the Gulls going on that winning streak to end the year and proved to have the best record in the NECBL at 31-10. White to face Pierce, who has faced the Gulls twice before. The pitch is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. Pierce out of Lockport, New York, 6'3", 215-pound right-handed freshman out of Canisius College. For the Golden Griffins this spring, a 4.63 ERA, 2-3 in 20 appearances, making 10 starts. The pitch swung on and missed. They count 0-2 on White, who's the toughest goal to strike out this season, only 9 strikeouts in White's 63 at-bats. Jeff Melillo over at first base coaching for the Newport Gulls. Brief delay here as he's in the dugout. The 0-2. He's taken high and away, ball 1. White, second on the team in stolen bases, 6 for 8. OPS over 1,000. His OBP was incredible. The pitch is foul on the first base line, and the count remains 1-2. A .535 on base percentage for Charlie White, and he was only about 2 more games shy of being able to qualify among the league leaders. Would have had just enough to qualify with about 2 more games. The 1-2. Up and away, ball 2 from Pierce. White has faced Pierce twice this season, both times in that walk-off win for the Gulls in Game 2 of their triple header here on Monday. Went 2 for 2 in that game. With a 2-run homer to tie the game in the 7th inning. The Gulls went on to walk off the win in the 7th, 5-4. Ball 3 misses outside to White. A fastball from Pierce, the righty. Looks in on his catcher, Nate LaPointe, and deals the 3-2 pitch. Up and away, ball 4, and White picks up his first playoff walk, and the Gulls have their first base runner. And we'll set the defense for you. Jacob Ouellette, what's it look like for the Mainers?
And left to right in the outfield, Will Cooper in left, Jordan Hagel in center, Cam Young in right, Anthony Hadro will be at third base, Jordan Betts at shortstop, Jose Torralba at second base, Gavin Stark at first base, and Nate LaPointe behind the dish, doing the catching for Ron Pierce, who is on the mound.
Nate LaPointe, Brett Armour, both sharing time at catcher duties this summer for the Mainers. As the first pitch is outside, ball 1 to Connor Canary, hitting .326, a homer, 18 RBI, 8 doubles and a triple in the regular season, .424 on base percentage. That's the highest among the Gulls starting lineup here tonight, those who had enough at bats to qualify. Of course, Melillo had a higher on base percentage, but finished the season with an injury, suffered at Goodell Park in Sanford. Time called here by home plate umpire Tim Carey. 1-0 the count on Connor Canary, who led the Gulls in average at home. He hit .411 here at Cardines Field. The pitch is a ground ball, bouncer up the middle and through for a base hit. Charlie White hits second. He'll stop there as the ball is bobbled, and White's going to take off for third base, and he'll be in there without a throw. It'll be a single and an error charge for the center fielder, Hagel. So a single for Canary, and on the error by Hagel, who committed just 2 in the outfield this season for the Mainers. Newport Gulls have runners at the corners, and the tying run is 90 feet away for a dangerous hitter in Casey Kaufman. The All-Star hit .315 in the regular season, 5 home runs, and a team-high 36 RBI. The pitch is taken down the middle for a strike, a breaking ball from Pierce. His 36 RBI tied Yale Rosen, who left the team with 2 weeks to go with a torn left labrum and have season-ending surgery back home. The 0-1 comes inside, ball 1. So the Gulls without 2 of their best players all season, both Melillo and Rosen, as Rosen did set the new Newport Gulls single-season home run record. He hit 12 bombs this season and 10 doubles. He's not here. The Gulls have barely missed him. They've still been winning. The 1-1 is swung on a loop to left. Cooper coming in. Will it be deep enough? White tags. He's going to try for home. The throw is offline, and the Newport Gulls have tied it here in the first. It's a sac fly for Casey Kaufman, who picks up his first postseason RBI.
So they're at least keeping Canary over at first base, getting the first out of the inning. So even though the game tied, still very, very, very early in the ball game.
Now the cleanup hitter, Brett Winger, hitting .328, 3 home runs and 34 RBI. With Rosen off the active roster, he has the second best batting average to end the year among active Gulls with enough bats to qualify. Again, both Matt Perret and Charlie White fell just short of the minimum as they check on the runner at first. And Canary's back sliding in. Nate LaPointe behind the plate, 9th in the league as far as defensive catching goes, as the pitcher's in there for a strike. Threw out 7 runners. They're 27 for 34 against LaPointe stealing. Pierce caught 5 runners in 8 attempts, a .625 percentage of runners caught, one of the best in the league, as the 0-1 is fouled away from Winger. Brett led the team with 45 hits and games played with 36 of the Gulls' 41. The 0-2 swung on and popped up first base side. Not much foul territory here. Stock giving chase. It's going to land just inside the concession concourse by the Mudville Palm. And Winger stays alive with 1 out and 1 on here in the first. It's a tied game. 1-1 between Newport and Sanford here in the NECBL quarterfinals, Eastern Division semifinals. Winger waits the 0-2. Strike 3 called in the outside corner. Snap throw down to first base from the point, and diving in safely is Canary. Winger, who did fan 34 times this season, strikes out here. That'll be 2 down for Steve Anderson. Hit .310, 3 homers, 23 RBI. Team's second best 10 doubles on the regular season. Of course, Jeff Melillo had 12 in just 27 games. The team lead. Slater, .397 OBP, 16 walks in the season, and 37 hits as they check the runner at first. And again, Canary hops back over. He was only 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts this season. The Gulls finished this league 9th best in stolen bases. The pitch inside a breaking ball, 1-0 from Anderson, who is 0 for 4 against Pierce this summer. Pierce threw the goals twice. Last time on July 30th here at Cardines Field, and get the loss. The Newport's 5-4 walk-off win. Worked an inning and 2/3, 3 earned runs, 5 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. So this one's in there for a strike. The count 1-1 on Anderson. Gained a little bit of a reputation this summer. Never was ejected, but would always glare back at umpires. The 1-1. Breaking ball just outside for ball 2. Pierce not missing by much. His other appearance against the Newport Gulls, given June 20th here on the road at Goodall Park. He also got the loss in that one. Newport's 4-2 win. Worked 5 2/3 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 hits, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. As the 2-1 misses for ball 3, a hitter's count for Anderson. Of course, the Gulls led the NECBL in walks this season. 233, only 9 shy of an all-time record. It was 12 years old, set by the team. Swamp Ass, 3-1 pitches, swung on and hit in the air to center. Hagel starts back, still going back, reaches up, makes the one-handed stab, and that'll be the out that retires the side. The Gulls strand 1, but they get 1 across to tie it, and after 1 here at Cardines Field, Newport 1 and Sanford 1 as we continue on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Nate LaPointe will lead things off for the Mainers in a tied game as Daniel Wright comes out for a second inning of work. LaPointe, the catcher, stands in the pitch. Taken for a called strike down the middle, says home plate umpire Tim Carey. I'm Nick Lima alongside Jacob Willett here on the NECBL Broadcast Network as the pitch is fouled away for strike 2.
Nate LaPointe back here on Monday, July 30th, had a pair of home runs in the first game of the doubleheader, a 3-run home run and a solo home run.
The 0-2 curve just misses as Perret tried to frame it. Perret, Gulls catcher, of course, teammates with Nate LaPointe at Boston College. They both split time as the catchers for the Eagles. The pitch is swung on a line down the right field line. Ort giving chase, still giving chase, and this one's going to drop by the base of the wall. It'll be a long single for Nate LaPointe, who continues his hard hitting. His last 5 games of the season, he had .467 with 4 homers, including those 2 you mentioned, Jacob, and 13 runs batted in.
And the thing about that single right there, the style of swing that LaPointe put on that ball was more of a defensive swing, if anything, but actually, got the benefit out of it and sent it down the right field line for a leadoff single. So defensive swing turned into a good one.
Is Jose Tarabla. The runner at first, the pitch. Taken high for ball 1 in a very narrow strike zone so far from Tim Carey. And Jeff January, the umpire at first, the ump at third, John Keegan. Tarabla, the second baseman, hitting .275, no homers, 13 RBI, 2 doubles. Team second best, 17 walks. 7 sacrifice hits, led the team in that department. As the pitch misses for ball 2. Did appear in 40 games, second most on the team. Behind Betts as the pitch is in there for a strike. Count 2-1 from Daniel Wright. 45 2/3 innings, 48 hits, 20 earned runs, 11 walks, 42 strikeouts, 9 doubles, 7 homers this summer. The pitch, little bit low, ball 3. Oh, they're not missing by much. Opponents at .279 against Wright. 1.31 whip as he works quickly. The 3-1 fouled away, and the count has worked full for the first time to a batter tonight. Leadoff batters are hitting only .238 against Daniel Wright, as so far 1 out of 2 leadoff men have gotten on for the Mainers. with 10 for 42 in the regular season. The payoff pitch is swung on and popped up. Second base area. Connor Canary is out on the outfield grass. He makes the catch for out number 1. Wright did have a postseason appearance in 2011 for the Newport Gulls. In Game 2 of their 2-game series with the Laconia Muskrats, but the Gulls were swept at Laconia on August 4th, 2011. You get the no decision. In relief, pitched 2 scoreless innings, allowed just a hit and a walk, struck out 2 in Newport's 8-7 walk-off loss. In 9 innings, he pitched the 6th and the 7th. The pitch in there for a strike on Gavin Stark. Right-handed batters like Stark hitting .315 versus Wright this summer. 34 for 108 with 27 strikeouts. The 0-1 swung on and missed. They count 0-2. Stark hitting .210, no homers, 8 RBI through 31 games. With 17 walks, however, so he can't get on base via the base on balls. The 0-2. Fastball just misses ball 1. Tim Carey has about the narrowest strike zone we've seen all summer.
It's all going to be about hitting those corners. You're not going to get too much of a leeway if this pattern continues.
From the stretch, the 1-2 comes way inside as he jackknifes out of the way, and the count evens up at 2-2. Righties hit .315. Left-handed batters just .219 against Wright. Newport won every game he appeared in this summer. The 2-2 curve. Oh, where was that pitch? That one dropped right in there. And now Tim Carey hearing a few calls from the crowd. Ball 3 on Stark. Wright a look in, shakes off a sign, shakes off another, and another now comes to the stretch. The payoff is swung on and looped to the second baseman. Canary leaps and makes a catch. Oh, what a catch by Connor. It just robbed a hit away from Gavin Stark as he had to backpedal on that one on the edge of the outfield grass. Stuck the glove out there and came up with the ball.
Yeah, nice leaping play there from Canary. That one, kind of, I think he just basically jumped up and threw his glove up there, hoping it would land in, and he got it.
That ball is still elevating off the bat of Stark when it landed into Canary's glove, and he was well positioned to bring it in. So he's recorded with 2 outs in the inning so far. A runner at first in the form of LaPointe, the go-ahead run in a 1-run game as John Gorman hits a ground ball bouncer up the middle. Canary can't get this one. It's through for a base hit. The second hit of the inning, third of the ball game.
John Gorman, who had been struggling pretty much all season whenever he was in the offensive category, batting only .087 for the Mainers all season long, and takes that first pitch and lines it straight up the middle. Nice piece of hitting there from Gorman.
Gorman went just 4 for 46 at the plate. Hit to 5 double plays to lead the Mainers this season, but he has 1,000 batting average now in postseason play as Cam Young will come up to the plate. Young, much like most of the Mainers, has not seen or faced Daniel Wright this summer. From the stretch, Wright worries about runners at first and second. The pitch. Fastball is low for ball 1. Young hit .266, no homers. He drove in 6. A pair of doubles and 9 walks, 22 strikeouts through 32 games. Wright. Now from the set at the letters, the 1-0. Curve just misses low as Young doesn't offer, and the count 2-0.
So a pair of BC Eagles on the base paths for the Mainers, both LaPointe and Gorman coming from Boston College.
The 2-0. Fastball is hooked down the right field line, but foul. Count 2-1. BC Eagle Matt Paray behind the plate here for the Newport Gulls. Threw out 4 base runners this summer. 15 for 19 against him. That's 8th best in the league. His fellow catcher Jeff Milillo, though, caught 8, 15 for 23, 3rd best in the league. The 2-1. Fastball in there for a called strike, and the count 2-2 on Young. The Mainers, 9th best hitting team in the NECBL, batted .268 as a team. 57 doubles, 203 runs, all those categories 9th best. 7th in stolen bases with 41. The 2-2 pitch. Little bit low as again Paray framed it seemingly forever as it misses for ball 3. And 8th best on base percentage at .350. 6th in walks with 152 and 7th in homers with 29, tied with North Adams and Holyoke. The payoff pitch, the runners go. It's foul tipped to the backstop. A reset and do it again. LaPointe, who singled at second, He's a go-ahead run, and Gorman, who singled at first base. Wright, who started the All-Star game for the Newport Gulls, worked an inning, allowing a hit and a strikeout on July 22nd. Has pitched at least 7 innings in 4 starts this season, and at least 5 innings in all 7 starts as the pitch is hooked down the right field line, foul. It'll bounce off the Mudville pub and back into the field of the play by the scoreboard. So the next pitch of the at-bat will be the 8th to the number 9 man, Cam Young, with 2 outs and 2 on here in the second. The top of the order, Will Cooper due up next. In a 1-1 game. Right. It's a sign from Matt Perret. From the stretch. A payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. There's the first strikeout for Daniel Wright. And the Mainers strand a pair here in the second after an inning and a half. Newport 1 and Sanford 1 as we continue on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport 1, Sanford 1. We go to the last of the second. It'll be Slater, Perret, and McKeithen due up to face Ron Pierce. Gave up a walk and a single and a sac fly for the tying run in the first. Also struck out one and induced a fly out. Pierce, facing the Gulls for the 3rd time here in 2012, had 2 no-hitters in high school. Native of Lockport, New York, 6'3", 215-pound righty, a 2.74 ERA, 2-3 record, and 7 starts, 9 appearances for the Mainers this summer. Before we get underway here in the last of the second, we want to give you a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is the exclusive property of the Newport Gulls Baseball Club and the New England Collegiate Baseball League, presented by the authority of the NECBL Broadcast Network for the entertainment of our listening and viewing audience. It may not be reproduced, re-recorded, or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game cannot be disseminated without the express written consent of the Newport Gulls and the Commissioner's Office of the New England Collegiate Baseball League.
Andrew Garner of the Danbury Westerners hitting a grand slam in the second inning, putting the Westerners up 6-0 over the North Adams Steeplecats.
First pitch low and away, ball 1. North Adams and Danbury signing their 3-game series tonight, as well as Vermont and Keene, and New Bedford and Laconia, which will have a live look in coming up in a couple of innings. The 1-0. Swung on a miss, strike 1 to Slater, who finished the regular season a .303 batting average, a homer, 22 RBI, had a 15-game hitting streak from June into July 8th. Snapped about 2 weeks ago in the season. 8 doubles and a triple, 37 hits overall, as this one is foul tipped to the backstop, 1-2. Slater, 16 walks at .397 on base percentage, as several goals finished just shy of the 400 mark for OBP. At one point, there were 13 goals above 400. Didn't matter who you put out there in the lineup, they would all get on base nearly half the time. A 1-2. Slider is foul tipped up the first base line. 33 games for Slater, as Mike Coombs really gave all of his players a lot of playing time. He gave rest and off nights to just about everybody. Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers here in the NECBL quarterfinals. Game 1, Game 2 tomorrow night. 6:30 start time, on the air around 6:20 with the pregame show from Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine. There's the 1-2 pitch from Pierce is low, 2-2. Tomorrow night, John Hochstadter, the lefty, 3.56 ERA, 2-1 in 6 games, 5 starts for Newport, to face Jerry Ferris as the pitch is swung on and looped to shallow right over the second baseman's head. A base hit. Karabalos put his glove out in the air, much like Canary did last time around, but this one is hit about 20 feet high. No chance of getting that one. And on with a bloop leadoff single is Austin Slater.
Yeah, that ball just ending up in no man's land out there in right center field. Kind of equal distance between Young, Hagel, and Taralba.
Gary Ferris already getting the start tomorrow for Sanford in Game 2. 2.70 ERA, 2-1 in 4 games and 3 starts this summer. First pitch is swung on a miss to Matt Perret, hitting .344, 5 homers and 17 RBI to finish the first season, as we're here in the second season of the NECBL, the playoffs. The 0-1, fastball just misses up and away, ball 1, and that time Nate LaPointe framing a ball. Perret, 5 homers, 17 RBI, 6 doubles through 22 games after joining the team. And in the end of June, when Alex DeLeon had to leave the team to go take a summer class, the Gulls' other catcher. They checked the runner at first, and back safely is Slater, who did not attempt to steal this season. Perret, a 1.128 OPS. Hit .462 over his last 5 games as the pitch is on the outside corner taken for strike 2. Perret, 9 walks, a .456 OBP. The Gulls as a team set the new league record of .422 on base percentage. Now the 1-2 from Pierce is swung on the line to right. Young coming in. He reaches up and makes the catch. Track that one down out in right field, but it's out number 1.
That ball hit very hard, but Young only having to range to his left about 5-10 feet or so and came up with that one, no problem.
Going right in front of the Newport Gulls Division Championship banners. There are 7 of them hanging up on the fence out there. First pitch is ground ball bounce to the left side, takes an awkward hopping through for a base hit from the batter Joel McKeithen. McKeithen, who had 6 homers, 24 RBI for the Newport Gulls in the regular season, has his first postseason hit. And Newport in business here, 2 runners on at first and second with just 1 out for Rob Ort, who hit .400 at home with 4 home runs and 14 RBI here at Cardines Field. Ort batting .275 to finish the summer with the team's second best 6 homers and 23 RBI. Also led the Gulls in sacrifice flies as Pierce comes to the stretch and deals the pitch. Swung on a loop to left center field. Hagel going over to his right. He won't get there. Heading third is Austin Slater. He'll come around to score as the throw goes into third, and the Newport Gulls will jump out to a 2-1 lead here in the second. Rob Ort gets his first postseason RBI. And the Gulls have had 3 hits now, all of them singles off of Ron Pierce here in the second inning.
Hagel doing a nice job, though, coming up with that ball after to hold McKeithen and Ort to only 1 base.
Cycle around to the top of the order, and Charlie White, who walked and scored in the first. White, who again walked 19 times in the regular season, scored 19 runs through 17 starts, steps up to the plate from the left side as he pinwheels the bat against Pierce. The pitch as he comes through the stretch at the belt, checks the runner at second, and fires. Fastball is low and away, 1-0 on Charlie. Lefties hitting .226, 14 for 62 against Pierce this summer.
Team Swampats leading the Vermont Mountaineers 5-0.
1-0 pitch, a ground ball, bouncer to the shortstop. Betts has it, flips the Tarabla out there onto first, and it is not in time to turn 2 as the speedy White beats out another. It'll be a fielder's choice. It'll go 6-4 and advance Joel McKeithen from second to third. For Connor Canary, who singled his last time, Canary hitting .326, a homer, 18 RBI. 33 runs scored, 44 hits, second in the team in both of those categories. Second in games played with 35. I'll be batting here with a runner at third, a runner at first, and 2 down. Pitch taken for a strike down the middle. Aaron Zarek, manager for the Mainers, coaching them here into the playoffs, along with Lee Jakevich and Tim Atwood. As Pierce from the stretch deals the 0-1. Runner goes from first, and without a throw, Charlie White is standing at second base. He has his first stolen base of the postseason after swiping 6 in regular season play. 1-1 the count on Connor Canary, the 2-time goal. He remembers that tough loss in Laconia last summer, the 1-1. Foul tip to the Gulls dugout as Casey Kaufman, the on-deck man, has to hop out of the way. 1-2. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 down in the second. Newport's jumped out to a 2-1 lead. Gulls finished the season 7-3 in their last 10 as the 1-2 pitch is up and away. Ball 2. They've had a couple seasons where they finished on a 10-game winning streak or more, including 2006 and 2011, and then going on to be swept out of the playoffs in either the first or second round. They never want to be too hot to end this season. With 2-2. Fouled to the left side as Canary with a defensive swing that time just gets a piece of the fastball from Pierce.
Team Swampats putting up a home run derby over at Alumni Field. Their 3rd home run of the game in the early innings. It's 6-0 now, Swampats over Vermont.
So all slugfest in the West. As we have a tight game so far here between Newport and Sanford. 2-1 Gulls. We're in the second. Newport threatening with White at second and Ort at third.
New Bedford leading Laconia 1-0 in the top of the fourth.
Pitch up and away. Full count on Connor Canary. A walk here, low the bases for Casey Kaufman, who was incredible with runners in scoring position. Batted .444. He's 12 for 27 with 19 RBI. White from second. Ort from third. The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball right side. Stabbed by Tarabler. He double clutches, throws to first, and that's the out that retires aside. The Gulls strand a pair. They've left 3, but they take the lead 2-1 after 2 innings of baseball from Cardines Field here in Game 1 of the NECBL quarterfinals on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And you're right now for a third inning of work to face the top of the order for the second time through. Will Cooper, Jordan Hagel, Anthony Hajar await him as Daniel Wright steps up to the mound. The pitch is low, ball 1 to Cooper, who grounded out his last time. Former Newport Gull Mike Milillo, who is a coordinator of the Gulls baseball tonight, energizing the fans in between innings as the pitch is in there for a strike. He had both sections on the first and third base line cheering. See who could be louder to get a couple prizes here as the 1-1 is swung on a miss, strike 2. They're giving away t-shirts tonight. They're giving away pink bats. They're giving away Newport Gulls water bottles. And they're giving away baseball night wristbands as the pitch is cut on a miss for strike 3. And Cooper becomes the second strikeout victim for Daniel Wright. You know, on baseball night, rescheduled from a couple of weeks ago, and a very important night off the field for Newport. They decorated the ballpark. There's balloons and streamers everywhere, and as the stands really fill up here now in this playoff game, so really you can really feel the energy here tonight. It is playoff baseball, but also a very important night as the Gulls look to raise money to help cure kids' cancer. Here's Jordan Hagel, who homered to left his last time. The pitch, low, ball 1. Hagel hit 4 homers, 21 RBI in the regular season. Slugged .567, 31 games. 989 OPS, led the team as the pitch is low for ball 2 from Wright. He hit .400 as a leadoff hitter. Leading innings off here, there's 1 out and the bases are empty. So odd seeing the umpire sitting down on the third base line, but that's the way things work here in the NECBL. The 2-0 pitch. Curve is high for ball 3. It's a 3-man crew throughout the postseason. Back when I started in the league back in 04, they used to use a 4-man crew for the championship series, but now it's 3 umpires for every playoff game. As the 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike.
Regular season games, only 2 umpires, a home plate umpire and a field umpire, and certainly with a couple more in the field, it makes it a little bit easier to make some calls, especially on those tricky check swing calls.
3-1 pitch, a ground ball, bounce to the left side, through for a base hit, and Jordan Hagel is 2 for 2.
Hagel swinging the bat real well so far here in the early part of the game. Has that home run, and now just hit another hard line drive grounder into left.
1 out, 1 on, as the go-ahead run comes to the plate. The number 3 hitter in the order, Anthony Hajar, who grounded third his last time. Hajar hitting .344, 2 homers, 27 RBI. 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Wright coming into tonight's game. The pitch. Fastball is on the outside corner at the belt for a called strike. Goes defensive alignment. Anderson over at first, Canary at second, McKeithen at short, Slater at third. This goes infield to 39 double plays. Third best in the league this summer as the 0-1 is lifted down the right field line, hooking foul for strike 2. Newport only committed 13 errors at home as far as fielders go, not pitchers, and non-pitchers 34 errors on the road. 54 total on the season. That's the 5th best in the league, and .965 fielding percentage is the fifth best. So they really had Cardines Field down defensively. Not too many tough hops here for the Gulls infield. From the stretch, Wright will twirl, fire back to first, and check on Hagel who was 7 for 8 in stolen bases this summer for the Mainers. 2 Gulls defenders had no errors in the summer. Rob Ort out in right field and Steve Anderson at first base. The 0-2 was outside ball 1. Brett Winger, the other Gulls first baseman, who split time with Anderson, and his DHing tonight, only had 1 error all season. So Gulls right side defensively very good this season. 1-2 pitch, a runner goes. Here's a throw from Paré down to second base. It is in time and he's out. Paré guns down Jordan Hagel. He thought he was there in time.
Yeah, Hagel is the call he's trying to look for. Is that he went into the head first dive. Hagel wanted to call that he got his hands in first, and that because the tag did come down on the swipe on the back. He wanted that, had a few words, but unfortunately caught stealing there.
Goes a court stealing 2-6. The pitch is swung on a line down the right field line, but foul. Hits by the Newport Gulls 4 championship banners hanging below the scoreboard. They won it all in 2001, 2002, 2005, and 2009. This season, they look to become the first team to win 5 Fay Vincent Senior Cups. The pitch, a curve, is fouled away. The count remains 1-2 on Hajar. Now 2-2. .52 pitches now for Daniel Wright, 33 of them for strikes. The 2-2 delivery is foul tipped off of the ankle of Hajar. Elsewhere around the NECBL, Laconia 1, New Bedford 1, top of the 4th. We'll have a live look in coming up in that contest momentarily. Denver Westerners lead the Northampton Steelcats 6-0, and Keene Swamp Bats lead the Vermont Mountaineers 6-0. All homers in those games. Danbury hosting North Adams at Rogers Park. They're in the top of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th at Alumni Field. Keene leading Vermont 6-0. The pitch. Ground ball bouncer. Foul on the third base side. That remains 2-2 on Anthony. Hit .406 on the road this season for the Mainers. A homer and 13 RBI. Takes the pitch low for ball 3.
Hajar really working the count here, really working right on the mound. A lot of pitches right is thrown to this batter alone, 18 in the inning.
Payoff pitch is low, ball 4, rolls up the first base line. And Hajar becomes the first walk issued by Daniel Wright, who only walked 11 in 45 and 2/3 innings this summer.
Hajar doing a nice job at that at bat. Fought off a few pitches first and then was able to get Wright to throw a couple that were just outside.
So 1 out and 1 on for Jordan Betts as Kevin Long, the pitching coach, will make his first mound visit of the ball game. Betts, the right fielder, or rather the shortstop, flied out to right field his last time. He led the team with 11 home runs, 38 RBI, and as you mentioned, Jacob, set some Sanford Mainers records.
Yeah, Jordan Betts setting the team home run record with 11 home runs this season, beating Mike Montville's from last year, who had 7, and then also the new RBI team record holder with 38 RBIs. The previous record set back in 2004 with 30 as an individual on the team.
Conference between Long, Paré, and Wright is brief, and now he'll look in on Betts, the cleanup man. It was a go-ahead run at the plate. He sets and fires. It's high, ball 1.
And then some off time. I'm going to do some more digging to see if some more team records have been broken.
The 1-0. Foul tipped up the third base line. The count 1-1 on Betts.
Both Betts and Hajar are doing the same thing. Betts also following this one off his foot and going to walk around the plate to try to walk it off. And that's the last thing the Mainers need is an injury, as their offensive staff pretty limited as of just a couple days ago. Eno Patron having to leave home for prior engagements. Paul Cronenfeld leaving with personal issues.
2 key players. From the set, Wright. With the 1-1 pitch, he kicks and deals. Strike 2 called right down the heart of the plate. Newport Gulls pitching a 3.96 ERA, best in the ACBL. Sanford Mainers 4.69 was second. The pitch, breaking ball misses outside, 2-2. 12 saves for the Gulls, also led the league. There aren't too many close games around the NCBL this season. Newport had plenty. 7 of their 10 losses were by 1 run. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and popped up. First base side. Ort coming in. He's under it, and he'll make the catch for the out that retires the side. The Mainers strand 1, have left 3. And after 2.5, Newport 2, Sanford 1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Brief delay here as the third base umpire, John Keegan, was late getting back into his position from down in the bullpen. He had to get some players onto the line down there. First pitch to Casey Kaufman is swung on and drilled to right center field deep. Hagel going back, and this is going to be off the wall on a bounce. Kaufman will take a wide turn around first, but he'll stay there with a leadoff single. And Casey is on here for the Newport Gulls. Another potential run for Brett Winger. Hit .328, drove in 34, second best on the team this summer. So a team high 36 games. He walked 19 times at a .414 on base percentage. And lead off here for the Newport Gulls, who had 99 doubles on the season. That set a new NECBL record. The old record, 82, set in 2010 by the Gulls. The pitch. Ground ball bounced to third. Hajar has it, flips to second, out there on to first, and it is in time, a double play. As Stark, with a good play, who was pulled off the bag by the throw from Tarabla, gets him on the tag.
Stark wanted the swipe tag call. Looked like he could have had him in the back, but just missing him.
Yep, just missed him. It's my view obscured by the pole here, so it'll be a fielder's choice, so not a double play ball. As it goes on the fielder's choice, Brett Winger will reach, racing Kaufman at second base. Six to 4 on the fielder's choice. First pitch misses to Steve Anderson, who fly to center his last time to end the first. Anderson now 0 for 5 against Pierce this summer. The pitch, chopped foul on the first base side. Gulls first base coach this time is John Norwood. Hops out of the way. And they use a first base coach by committee plan. Al Laver, of course, always patrols the box at third. The 1-1 is swung on and looped to center field. That's going to fall in for a hit. And Newport already collects their 6th hit of the ball game against Ron Pierce. Whose last start was a loss at the Danbury Westerners at Rogers Park on the road. Pierce went 6 1/3, allowing just 1 earned run, but 4 runs total. 8 hits, 3 walks, a strikeout, and the Mainers' 4-3 loss. He also picked up 2 L's against the Newport Gulls this summer. He had 2 wins. The pitch is low ball 1, but not against Newport.
Muskrats leading the Bay Sox 3-1 in the 4th inning.
It was a 1-1 game. 1-0 pitch. Curve is in there for a strike.
Well, that's a curveball right there from Pierce that he needs to consistently have, because if you just notice the break on that ball, that one going from about letters to knees in about 2 seconds, can keep that effective all game, the rest of the game and the rest of his outing.
It's a beautiful pitch. A 1-1 to Austin. His foul tipped off the catcher's equipment. 1-2.
Pierce that time taking a little off that pitch. Slater swinging out of his shoes.
At Cardines Field this season, the Gulls outscored the Mainers in 4 games, 34-20. They lead here 2-1 with a runner at first, a runner at second in the 3rd. From the stretch, Pierce with the 1-2 pitch. He checks the runner again, and fires. Breaking ball, misses outside. Good stop by the catcher, LaPointe.
And looking back on that combined score, it was actually the only difference with that score was just one game, the 11-2 Newport Gulls victory the first time the Mainers came here. Other than that, 12-10, 6-4, and 5-4 were the scores.
A 2-2. Just misses a little bit low for ball 3. Mainers defense tied for 6 in the NECBL, 31 double plays turned. Tied for 6 with North Adams for 56 errors. They're tied with Mystic for double plays turned. and 8th in the league in fielding percentage at .963. A 3-2 pitch. Curve is just outside, ball 4. Again, the point tried to frame it, but just missed the spot. And Newport has the bases loaded for the first time in the series. Slade is on for the second time. Of course, he singled and scored in the second. And I'll bring up Matt Perret. Fly to right his last time, but finished the season hitting .344 and .462 through his last 5 games.
Talk about a narrow strike zone by home plate umpire Timothy Carey. Those pitchers not missing the outside corner by much.
They've been right there. First pitch to the lefty, Perret. Here it comes. Fastball in there for a strike. Gull on every base. The 0-1 pitch is low. Ball 1. Perret has some home run power. 5 on the regular season. Newport did not hit a grand slam this summer, nor was a grand slam hit against the Newport Gulls, despite how much of an offensive summer this was around the NECBL. Here Perret has a chance. With Winger at third, Anderson at second, Slater at first. Pierce steps off, now toes the rubber from the third base side. From the stretch, at the letters, he deals a 1-1. Curve is up and away, ball 2. Newport 2. Sanford 1 out in the third, and the Gulls threatening with the bases jammed. 82 degrees here at game time. Temperatures dropped a little as the pitch is a fastball of the outside part of the plate for a strike, 2-2. Joe McKeithen to follow.
Pierce looking for a big out here, trying to get out of the bases loaded jam.
Perret 0 for 2 with the bases loaded this season. The pitch. Curve is just inside. Ball 3, another borderline breaking ball that time. And, all right, Tim Carey does not give the call often in that breaking pitch for either starter.
And that one right at the knees, too, on the inside corner, and I, again, don't know where that one missed.
A 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Blew a fastball by him. Perret went chasing up and away, and that's the second strikeout for Ron Pierce. A big second strikeout here. But with the bases loaded and now 2 out, he still has to deal with Joe McKeithen, who hit 6 homers this summer and drove in 24. McKeithen 2 for 6 with the bases loaded. Hits the ground ball, bounces down the third base line. It gets off the glove of the third baseman, Hajar. A run comes home to score, and everybody's safe. It's going to be an error charged to Anthony as he hit that one weakly down the third base line. Hajar just had to pick it up and tag the bag, but it popped out of his glove.
Yeah, no, that ball ate Hajar up all the way. He was battling with it all the time. He was trying to go to third base, rushing the play. So now, from here on out, I believe every run scored from here on out is going to be unearned.
It's an error, no RBI for McKeithen. As the run scores, the pitch to Rob Orr. Wild pitch to the backstop, but it bounces right back to the catch of the point. And here's the only ballpark in the league where you see that happen. No run scored on a wild pitch as it bounces right back into the mitt of Nate LaPointe. Ball 1. The winger comes around to score his first postseason run. And with the bases loaded, Rob Ort here at the plate. Still 2 out. The pitch. Swing, a pop-up. Coming in is Hagel in shallow center field. He'll make the catch. That'll be the out that retires the side. Ort got under that one. But the Newport Gulls plate 1 more run, and they'll have their biggest lead of the night. It's Newport 3 and Sanford 1 as we continue on the NECBL Broadcast Network. One run in each inning so far for the Newport Gulls. The Sanford Mainers got theirs on a solo home run back in the first with the bat of Jordan Hagel. It's Newport 3 and Sanford 1. We go to the 4th as Daniel Wright comes out for another inning of work. And here to take you with the play-by-play for innings 4, 5, and 6, the voice of the Sanford Mainers, Jacob Ouellette.
Thank you very much, Nick. Both pitchers pretty much neck and neck despite the score. Pierce with 62 pitches, 37 of them for strikes. Wright as well, 62 pitches, 39 for strikes. And so just a 2-pitch differential between the 2 starters. Nate LaPointe, Jose Torralba, and Gavin Stark will lead it off here in the top of the 4th inning, trying to gain this 3-1 deficit back and put in their favor. LaPointe is 1 for 1. He had a single back in the second inning and was stranded at second base. First pitch to him here, right over the heart of the plate for a called strike, 0-1. Wright thus far has given up 4 hits, has walked 1 and struck out 2. The pitch, swung on and missed. A breaking ball here to LaPointe, so LaPointe now quickly down 0-2. In his last at-bat, fought off a pitch that ended up down the right field line for a single. 0-2, swung on and missed, so 3 strikes, and LaPointe retired for the first out of the 4th.
Will Matt, Tom Erb, Dr. Erb, and Chris Patzos make their way
Now bring up
down
Jose
to the first
Torralba,
baseline,
who's 0
please.
for 1. Torralba popped up to the second baseman, Canary, for the first out of the second inning.
Number 1, Jose Torralba.
Second baseman for the Mainers trying to get on base here in the 4th. The first pitch to him is going to be on the inside corner for a called strike. A pitch that has been called a ball multiple times throughout this game. The 0-1. And another pitch that seemed a bit high, but this one called a strike as well. Torralba quickly down 0-2, taking a couple looks back at the home plate umpire. The 0-2 just outside. The count now 1-2. Mountaineer starter Alex Haynes already out of the game. They trail the Swamp Bats 6-0. The next pitch here to Torralba in the dirt for ball 2-2 the count. Torralba, Ron Pierce's college teammate at Canisius. Here's the 2-2 delivery from Wright. Check swing. They appeal and they say he doesn't go, so the count will now run full at 3-2. 2 quick strikes here to Torralba, but now a full count. Wright working from the full windup. Gets a sign here from Paray, the payoff pitch to Torralba. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Torralba goes down for the second out of the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Wright. And another pitch that Torralba had to take a quick look back at the home plate umpire on, as the strike zone now not too consistent, as can probably be agreed upon. This will bring up Gavin Stark with 2 outs. First pitch to him, going to be low and away. A pitch that was just called a strike on Torralba. The count 1-0 to Stark. Wright gets a sign, the windup and the pitch. Outside again, but a bit too far. 2-0 now to Stark. Stark is also 0 for 1. He lined out to Canary at second for the second out of the inning. He sends this one foul out of the play into the bleachers. Nice catch for a fan up in the upper part. But the count now 2-1 to the Mainers first baseman. Wright working quickly. He's thrown 12 pitches so far. Here's the pitch. This one at the letters. Breaking ball, but called the ball. So 3-1 now to Stark. The 3-1. Swung on and chopped foul on the third base side. The count runs full. Back-to-back hitters now with a full count. This now with 2 outs in the 4th. The Mainers trailing the Gulls 3-1. Stark stepping back into the box. Wright peering in for a sign from Paray. Gets it. Now the windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Wright strikes out the side. 1-2-3 here in the top of the 4th. So Mainers can't get anything done against the Gulls starter. We head to the home half of the 4th. It's Newport 3, Sanford 1 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. That's here at Cardines Field. The Mainers going down on strikes in the top half of the 4th. Couldn't get anything done against the Gulls starter, Daniel Wright. Ron Pierce finishing his warm-up tosses here in the bottom of the 4th. He'll face the top of the order for the Gulls. Charlie White, Connor Canary, and Casey Kaufman. 1-2-3 here to start the home half of this 4th inning as they lead the Mainers 3-1. On-field game wrapping up here on the third base side. Pierce throwing 62 pitches through just 3 innings. Daniel Wright, on the other hand, throwing 77 in 4. High pitch counts from both starters, but Wright being very effective. Pierce, though, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, has only allowed those 3 runs. 2 of them, I believe, earned. As that last error by the Mainers, a run being scored when it was in for the final out, but Anthony Hajar couldn't come up with it at third base. First pitch here to Charlie White, low and away for a ball 1-0. White on the day, 0 for 1. Walked and scored in the first, and reached on a fielder's choice and stole second in the second, but was stranded there. The next pitch on the inside corner, but misses for a ball. 2-0 the count now to White. Pierce wind up in the delivery. This one just below the knees inside for a ball. So 3 quick balls here to White. 3-0. Pierce is set. Here's the pitch. This one outside. 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning for the Gulls. So the Gulls, for the 4th straight inning, have the leadoff runner on. And I'll bring up Connor Canary.
Charlie White already his 2nd walk of the postseason. The Newport Gulls, who walk so often in the regular season, have now 3 on the night.
This will bring out Mainers manager Aaron Izeric. Not sure if Pierce's night is done or if he's going to talk to him just to kind of get him to settle down, as, again, just noted that the Gulls have had the leadoff runner all 4 innings. The whole infield in for the Mainers, and not out there for long, and home plate umpire Timothy Carey going out to go break it up. No one warming up in the Mainers bullpen, so that answers the question of Pierce staying in the game. Conference now over, and Toralba and Betts going to hang in there for a couple more seconds. Final words here for their starting pitcher as they wait for Connor Canary to step into the box.
Now Canary's going to get a quick word from Al Leyva. Of hitting advice from a man who the Gulls unanimously credit for walking so often, having high batting averages throughout the summer. They all credit Al Leyva with helping improve their swings and their stances at the plate and taking a lot of pitches.
Pierce takes a quick look back at White over at first base. The first pitch here to Canary. In there for a called strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Canary is 1 for 2. Had a single but was stranded there in the first and grounded out to Toralba over at second in the second. Pierce looking from his sign. From the point, check back, throw over to first base. White dives back in safely. Danbury Westerners adding 2 more runs in the 5th. 8-0 they now lead the North Adams Steeplecats. Another check back. Pierce with a quick turn over at first base. White still in safely though. Pierce to the set. Now the pitch. Swung on and grounded through the left side into left field. Back-to-back base runners on here for the Gulls to start the 4th inning. Still nobody out. And Casey Kaufman will come up. Pierce trying to get out of an inning without allowing the Gulls to score. The Gulls have scored in all 3 innings. Scored once in the first, once in the second, and once in the third. Following a pattern here, as all 4 innings have led off with a base runner, and the 4th run in scoring position. He shows bunt down the third baseline, going foul. Kaufman now 0-1 on the count. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI. Had an RBI single had a single in the third, but had a sac fly in the first that brought in the tying run at the time. Make the score 1-1. Bay Sox narrowing the Muskrats' lead. It's now 3-2 in the 5th inning. Kaufman shows bunt again, pulls back. Fake throw from LaPointe down to second base. Count 1-1 here to Kaufman. So Canary over at first, White over at second. Kaufman the batter. The 1-1 shows bunt again, drops down the bunt. Pierce will pick it up, look at second, but will fire to first base and will just get Kaufman in time for out number 1, but both runners move up a base, so the Gulls have 2 runners in scoring position here with only 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. I'll bring up Brett Winger, who was 0 for 2. Struck out in the first inning and reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the third. Now with only 1 out, Winger has a chance here to bring in 2 more runs for the Gulls. First pitch breaking ball on the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Another curveball there from Pierce. He comes to the set, looks across at third base. The next pitch grounded down the third baseline, but foul. So Winger quickly down 0-2. Only one of the 2 strikeout victims that Pierce has. The only other one, Matt Perret, in last inning in the third. Pierce to the set, looks over at White, now comes home. Swung on and sent fouled back. Count remains at 0-2. Both pitchers' pitch counts now up in the 70s just in 4 innings. So we hit the 8 o'clock mark here on the East Coast. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and chopped foul again. So Winger stays alive to see another pitch. Cardines Field, packed house tonight. Pierce, the delivery. Swung on and sent into deep left field. Cooper taking a few steps back, but we'll watch this one sail over the fence. For a 3-run home run here for Brett Winger. The Gulls now lead the Mainers 6-1 in the bottom of the 4th. As this ball was, I guess this one was off the top of the fence. This is going to be a double here.
Wow, that one really looked like it was gone, but Mike Coombs will go out and ask what happened to that one.
So my assumption is are those tree branches over the fence?
If it hits the tree branch, it's automatically a home run. Mike Coombs isn't happy because he goes over the ground rules with the umpires here. He's saying it hit the tree branch, and he's getting a little heated now with both the first and now the third base umpire, John Keegan now.
So regardless, it's at least 5-1 now, Gulls. And if they do turn this call around, it'll be 6-1. So as it stands right now, and that looks like it's going to be that way, it is a 2 RBI double here for Brett Winger. Just about everyone in this park thought that ball was gone. Cooper again, took only a few steps back.
But that's the ground rule. If it hits the tree, now he's going to talk to the home plate umpire.
Only a couple words there. But, so that's how it stands. A 2 RBI double here for Brett Winger. So it's 5-1 Gulls here with only 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
For Winger, it's his first 2 postseason RBI, and the Gulls have their first double in their 100th this summer.
So Pierce to the set will face Steve Anderson. First pitch to him. It swung on and sent foul on the netting on the third base side. Foul. Count 0-1. Anderson is 1 for 2. He had a single and got to third base back in the 3rd inning, but was left there on a stranding the bases loaded. Pierce, quick look at Winger. And the pitch swung on and sent to Taralba over at second base. Slips and falls, but gets himself recovered just in time to throw Anderson over out at first. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th. Winger moves up 90 feet, and now he's 90 feet away from scoring the 6th run here in the 4th. Now with 2 outs, Austin Slater, who's 1 for 1, will step up to the plate. Slater singled and scored in the 2nd inning and walked in the 3rd. Swings at this one and sends it out to right field. Cam Young backtracking to the fence just in front of it. And right in front of the fence will retire Austin Slater for out number 3. The Gulls score 2 more times here at the bottom of the 4th. So we head to the top of the 5th. 4 complete here at Cardines Field. It's the Gulls 5, Mainers 1 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we're back here for the top of the 5th. Jacob Willett alongside Nick Lima here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Daniel Wright, who has thrown 77 pitches through 4 innings, is out there for his 5th inning of work. Will face the Mainers 8-9 hitters. John Gorman, Cam Young, and Will Cooper. Gorman takes the first pitch from right in this inning for a called strike. Gorman that was only his 2nd pitch as he took the first pitch in his last at-bat for a single up the middle. Swing and a miss on this one, so Gorman quickly down 0-2. Wright in last inning struck out the side, 1-2-3 against the Mainers. Has now 5 strikeouts on the night. He kicks and fires. This one low and away for a ball. 1-2 the count now here to Gorman. Gorman, the designated hitter tonight. The pitch swung on and lined into left center field, but Charlie White moving over to his right and retiring Gorman for the first out. Gorman did hit that ball pretty hard, but White able to catch up with it in the gap and retire Gorman for out number 1, and Cam Young will now step into the box.
Right fielder, number 9, Cam Young.
I believe that song that was being played after that out, Nick, I think that actually might be, if I remember correctly, Cam Young's walkout back at Goodall. First pitch to him, low and away for a ball, 1-0. As the sun starts to set here, beautiful red sky here in Newport. A little bit of cloud cover, not much. Count 2-0 here to Cam Young, who's 0 for 1. This one missing as well. So Cam Young now 3-0. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Young struck out in the second inning. And this one hits the outside corner for a called strike. The count now 3-1. Right, deep breath, now fires home. This one's up and away, ball 4. So the Mainers get their first base runner on of the inning with 1 out.
Just the second walk issued by Daniel Wright.
New Bedford jumping ahead of the Muskrats now. They lead 6-3 in the 6th inning.
Will Cooper.
And now Will Cooper, who's 0 for 2, will step up. Cooper had struck out in his last at bat. Cooper hits a line shot, nice diving play over at second base for Connor Canary, who dives over to his left to make that play. Cam Young, that ball, he thought that ball was getting through the right, to the right side. I think just about everyone here thought that ball was getting into the right side. But a nice play by Canary, and they double up Cam Young over at first base. So essentially the Mainers going in order here in the 5th inning. Nothing doing. The Gulls lead 5-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here for the bottom of the 5th inning, Newport Gulls leading the Sanford Mainers 5-1. Ron Pierce still on the mound for Sanford. He's thrown 79 pitches in 4 innings, allowed 8 hits so far, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. He'll face Matt Bray, Joel McKeithen, and Rob Ort, 7, 8, 9 here in the bottom half. First pitch here to Perret, swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Perret struck out in his last at-bat against Pierce. 1 of 2 strikeouts, credited to the Mainers starter. Shakes off a couple pitches from LaPointe, but gets his sign that he likes. The next pitch just outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Pierce kicks and fires. Swung on and missed again. Perret swinging for the fences on that pitch. He's down 1-2.
Here comes Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Pava by us, and for the first time in his life, well, since he had a mustache, no mustache.
And this pitch just missing at the knees. And then evens up the count at 2-2. And you're absolutely right, Nick. I didn't recognize him. Looks like a new man. Swung on and popped up in the infield. Jordan Betts backtracking onto the outfield grass. But will get Perret for the first out of the inning. And for the first time in this game, the Newport Gulls do not get the leadoff hitter on. Not going to lie, Nick, it looks like he's about 5 to 10 years younger.
He does look younger.
Looks good, though.
McKeithen.
Joel McKeithen now stepping in the box. First pitch to him. He looks at for a called strike. 0-1. Next pitch low and away for a ball. Evens up the count at 1-1. The delivery from Pierce. McKeithen started to offer, but held back just in time. That one ends up low and away, though. 2-1 now. I was actually excited to see George Bissell go ball. This one lined down the left field line. This one's going to land fair. Cooper's going to run over and dig it out of the corner. Rounding first and going to second is McKeithen. Cooper picks it up and fires into the cutoff man, Jordan Betts. And with one out here, McKeithen gets a double, his second hit of the day. So with one out, Rob Ort now will step in. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Had that RBI single back in the second inning that scored Slater. That put the Gulls ahead initially 2-1. First pitch to him. Swung on and popped sky high going into the gap in right center field. Charging in is all three, Hagel, Young, and Taraba. But it will be Hagel to retire Ort for out number 2. McKeithen unable to advance. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And Charlie White will step up. Who's 0 for 1? White has walked twice, grounded into a fielder's choice in the second inning.
The center fielder, number 1.
Now, Nick, George only getting the buzz cut. I thought he was going bald. I was really excited to see George Bissell go bald tonight.
He always has a buzz cut anyway. Keeps his hair pretty short.
So nothing new. I was excited, and he brought my dreams down. It was me seeing George Bissell go bald. He can't hear me, but the first pitch to White in there for a called strike, 0-1. 90 pitches now for Pierce. Looks back at McKeithen, called timeout. Pierce was on his way towards home plate, and a late called time by the home plate umpire. Pierce now getting a new sign from LaPointe. Comes to the set, here's the pitch. Shows bunt now. And a fake snap throw down to second base from LaPointe. No throw. White, I guess, was able to pull back on that bunt attempt, so the count 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded to the right side. Taraba ranging over. He's going to pick it up, bobbles it. And they're going to round McKeithen at third base, and another error here. Actually, we're going to go as a hit. Taraba had that one. It goes as a single for White, but then the run is scored. So it's not. So it's going to go as an error now on Taraba, and another run scores, another unearned run. So it's now 6-1 Gulls. The first pitch here to Canary outside for a ball, 1-0.
Charlie White's on base for the 4th time now. Well, Tim Carey wasn't happy with the Gulls playing the walk-up song a little bit too late. That's the first time an umpire has complained about that all season, though.
This next pitch fouled out of play. Count even now at 1-1. Imagine now, due to pitch count, that there probably is someone warming up in the bullpen for the Mainers. Pierce comes home with his pitch. Another foul ball on the third base side. Canary down 1-2. He is 2 for 3, having himself a pretty good night. Singled and scored in the 4th, and singled back in the 1st. There is some stretching going on down in the bullpen.
It's like David Schmidt for the Gulls, maybe someone else out there.
White was off with the pitch, but another foul from Canary.
No one throwing, though, you're right.
Better call.
Mainers do have, looks like to be a pitcher standing by the hill, but no throw.
It's getting a little foggy here now.
Pierce to the set. Here's the 1-2. Outside. Count even up at 2-2. Now, tough part for the Mainers. Brett Armour also leaving for some family matters, so Mainers down to just one catcher. So some pitchers, or this one also lined down the left field line, going foul into that bullpen. Another pitch fought off from Canary. 98 pitches now from Pierce, approaching the 100 mark. So pitchers probably pinch hitting or pinch catching out in the bullpen. Pierce now to the set, another 2-2, but this one actually goes towards first base. Close play over at first, but White back in safely. Pierce gets his sign, kicks and fires. Runner goes, this one chopped down the first baseline. Foul again. 20 pitches now from Pierce in this inning. Canary fighting off a bunch. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming here to Canary. Swung on and another foul ball. There has not been one swinging strike or called strike. All strikes on the board have been swung on and fouled in this at-bat. 8 pitches to Canary here. Pierce to the set, and here's the ninth. This one grounded to the left side. Terrell with a chance to redeem himself, comes up with it, fires on to first for the third out of the inning. Gulls score yet another run. It's now 6-1 Gulls as we head to the top of the 6th. Pierce, 101 pitches on his outing. We'll be right back. You're listening to the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field, a couple of fans sitting on the roof.
It's the warehouse out there.
The warehouse. Watching the Newport Gulls take on the Sanford Mainers tonight. Daniel Wright still on the mound for the Gulls as we enter here into the 6th inning. Jordan Hagel, Anthony Hajar, and Jordan Betts will come to the plate here in this inning. Hagel is 2 for 2 with an RBI. That RBI coming in the first inning on that solo home run, the only run the Mainers have scored. Danbury Westerners leading the North Dedham Steeplecats 9-1 after 6 innings.
The center fielder, number 24.
Fog setting in a little thicker here at Cardines.
It's really rolling in now off the first base line, coming off the water.
First pitch to Hagel, up and in for a ball, 1-0. Wright, that was his 88th pitch. So he'll be in trouble with the pitch count sometime soon, I would imagine. The 1-0 hits the outside corner. Pitch that has been off and on a ball all night long. Count 1-1 now to Hagel, who's 2 for 2. Pitch, low and away for a ball, 2-1. Mainers having the heart of their order up, or the early heart of their order. Hagel grounds this one down the third baseline. Nice pick from Slater. The throw from all the way across the diamond, not in time, and Hagel is on for his 3rd hit of the game in as many at-bats. And second inning in a row, not the second inning, second time. There, I got it right this time. Second time in 6 innings that the Mainers had the leadoff runner on.
You can see the fog coming in a little thicker now, as we have had fog outs or fog delays in the playoffs here in recent years. Remember one against Torrington in 05, again one against Manchester a couple years after that. It's starting to get a little hard to see the outfielders.
Anthony Hajar now, who's 0 for 1, is up to the plate. First pitch, he grounds this one up to the middle. Nice stab by Wright over to second. McKeithen over to first. Double play here in the 6th, 2 outs now for the Mainers. Jordan Betts coming to the plate.
Second double play ball the Gulls have turned tonight. Consecutive innings. And of course, that line out into a double play in the 5th with Connor Canary making a good turn this time. It was Daniel Wright doing the work himself, firing back to McKeithen.
So that play going 1-6-3 if you're scoring back at home. Jordan Betts now coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2. That's flew out to right. Has flown out to right twice. First pitch to him, he sends foul out of play, 0-1. Right now, 93 pitches, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Allowing only that 1 run. Wind up and the pitch. This one bounces in front of the plate and skips to the backstop. Count even now at 1-1. This one catches the outside corner, and Betts now behind on the count 1-2. Swamp still keeping the Mountaineers off the board. They're going into the bottom of the 7th, still leading 6-0. That fog really coming in quick. Betts takes this breaking ball, chops it to the left side. Slater picks it up, fires a low throw in the dirt. But picked out of the dirt is Anderson for out number 3. The Mainers again essentially going in order here in the top of the 6th. The Gulls still leading 6-1. We head to the home half here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Jacob Willett back here alongside Nick Lima on the NECBL Broadcast Network, where the Newport Gulls lead the Sanford Mainers 6-1. Ron Pierce's night is done for the Sanford Mainers through 101 pitches, and in to relieve him is the right-handed reliever Matt Horan, who has had one start on the season coming against the Newport Gulls, has appeared in 12 games. He threw 17.2 innings, 24 hits, 21 runs, 13 of them earned, 14 walks and 20 strikeouts. End of the season, the regular season 0-2 with a save and a 6.62 ERA. He'll face the Gulls at heart of the order 3-4-5, Casey Kaufman, Brett Winger, and Steve Anderson. Kaufman is 1 for 1 with an RBI. Kaufman had a sacrifice fly in the first inning, had a single in the third, and another sac bunt in the fourth, so 2 sacrifices on the night for Kaufman. First pitch delivered by the Mainers' new pitcher. Stays up high for a ball, 1-0.
Gulls batter leading off the 6th is the left fielder, number 28, Casey Kaufman.
The next pitch here, breaking ball that stays up high, 2-0 the count. Horan, the windup and the pitch. Fastball that's lined into right field. Cam Young ranging over will have it drop in. It's going to get by him. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. Kaufman's going to go to its second. Quickly picked up by Hagel in center field. Misses the cutoff man, Betts, but in behind him to back it up is the third baseman, Anthony Hajar. And for the 5th time in 6 innings, the Newport Gulls put the leadoff runner on. That one going as a double for Kaufman, his 2nd hit of the night, and now this brings up Brett Winger.
Already the Gulls' 3rd double of the ball game.
Winger's 1 for 3. Doubled back in the 4th inning. You look towards the lights and how thick the fog is getting, and Young came charging in on that one, kind of sure about it, but almost seemed like he might have lost it a little bit in the air. Pitch from Horan. Swung on and sent, fouled back, 0-1. Horan to the set. And lifts the leg, but turns towards second base. Final line on Pierce. We'll get that for you in just a moment as Horan fires home. Breaking ball that stays low. The count even at 1-1. Pierce pitched 5 innings, allowed 9 hits, 6 runs. We've only 3 of them earned. 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. 1-1 pitch here from Horan. Just below the knees for another called ball, 2-1. Each game in the NECBL playoffs now at least in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch. Breaking ball that hits the inside corner for a called strike. We're back to even now at 2-2. Winger could have been wrongfully robbed of a home run. And called strike 3 on the outside corner. Horn gets the first out of the inning in his first strike of his relief outing here in the bottom of the 6th. Now bring up Steve Anderson, who's 1 for 3. Anderson had a single back in the 3rd inning, reached third base, but was left stranded. Grounded out to second in his last at-bat, back in the 4th. Gulls have yet to go in order tonight, and won't again here in the 6th with Kaufman standing at second. Next, the first pitch here to Anderson in there for a called strike. Nice curveball there from Horn. Anderson at first base for the Gulls tonight. Horn takes a quick look back at Kaufman and will turn towards second again. No throw. The pitch in there for a called strike on the outside corner. So Anderson quickly down 0-2. Long look in from Horn to LaPointe, but gets a sign. Checks back at Kaufman here. Fires home. Breaking ball that ends up outside. 1-2 the count now. Horn gets a sign he likes. Kicks and fires. Swung on and sent foul out of play. Count remains at 1-2.
North Adams Steelcats on the board at Rogers Park. It's now Dimbury 9, North Adams 1. They're in the top of the 7th. But the Swamp Bats still shutting out the Mountaineers in the bottom of the 7th at Alumni Field. 9-0 the score in that one. So both favorites in the lead in those two contests.
And the 1-2 delivery from Horn. Swung on and sent to the left side. Betts was that double play depth. Excuse me, that double play depth was actually holding on Kaufman. So that one able to get through. And a 1-out single here. Runners at the corners now for the Gulls in the bottom of the 6th.
11th hit for the Newport Gulls. And the other Eastern Division game going on tonight. Top of the 7th at Paul Walsh Field. Now again, the favorite is winning. New Bedford Bay Sox 6, Laconia Muskrats 3.
And that 9th run coming as a 2-run home run from Jared Walsh on the Swamp Bats. So their production being done solely on home runs tonight. Point steps in front of the plate, gives some signs to his infield. As Austin Slater, who's 1 for 2, is in the right-hander's batter's box. First pitch to him here from Horn. Breaking ball is sent high and in the air to right field. Cam Young camping under it. He'll catch it and fire into Stark at first. He's going to fire to second base. And Anderson tagged up at first base and makes it in safely at second. It is now 7-1 Gulls in the bottom of the 6th, 2 outs.
And with that, the Gulls have now scored at least once in every inning. 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 1 now here in the 6th.
So the Mainers only have 3 more innings to put some offense together if they're going to get this lead back. Again, this series, the best-of-3 series. Game 2 being played at Goodell Park in Sanford tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. The first pitch swung on and crushed from Perret heading to center field, and this one is out of here. Matt Perret, who was 0 for 3 on the night, hits a 2-run home run to extend the Gulls lead, now 9-1. Third team out of 4 games to now have a team reach 9 runs, this one coming in the bottom of the 6th.
Matt Perret with a towering shot over the fence in right field. That was a no-doubter. It cleared everything over that 28-foot-high fence, over the trees, over the houses. Perret, his first, and the Gulls' first postseason home run, his 6th this summer. And Newport has blown it open here in the 6th.
First pitch here to McKeithen on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. McKeithen is 2 for 3 with an RBI. Doubled and scored in the 5th in his last at-bat. Warren gets a sign. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, 0-1 pitch. Check swing. And they want to appeal. They check down to first base and they say he went, so now McKeithen is down 0-2. It's a delayed appeal. 4 and 1 strike away, getting out of the sitting. Here's the pitch in the dirt. 1-2 now.
Now 8 of the Gulls 79 have scored in this game, and 5 of the starting 9 have driven in a run.
Swung on and missed, strike 3, and McKeithen goes down swinging for the final out of the 6th. Gulls tack on 3 more runs as they now lead the Mainers 9-1. We head to the top of the 7th. We played 6 full here at Cardinals Field, here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here for the top of the 7th inning. Daniel Wright still on the hill for the Gulls. They'll face the Mainers 5, 6, 7 hitters Nate LaPointe, Jose Torralba, and Gavin Stark with a 9-1 lead over the Mainers. And here to take you through the rest of the game for the play-by-play is the voice of the Newport Gulls, Nick Lima.
Thank you very much, Jacob Willett. Nate LaPointe steps up to the plate here to face Wright. It's been very good. Scattered just 5 hits now through 6 innings of work. Has an 8-run cushion to save the Gulls bullpen a little bit here in the 7th. Tomorrow, John Hochstadter gets to start for the Gulls. 2-1 record in 5 starts in 6 games this summer. In game 2 at Goodall Park, as ball 1 misses inside to LaPointe, who's 1 for 2. A single and a strikeout, the pitch. A little bit low, ball 2. Newport and Sanford met 8 times this summer. Being for the first time June 15th, it was the Gulls with an 11-2 win here at Cardinals Field. As the 2-0 was a fastball low, 3-0 the count. On June 20th, Newport took a 4-2 win on the road at Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine. As the pitch is in there for a strike.
Right about to throw his 100th pitch. He's thrown 99 now. And get this, another 3-run home run for the Keene Swamp Bats.
This one is grounded up the middle. Backhanded stab by Canary. Throws from behind the second base bag on to first in time for the out. And the Swamp Bats just launching the ball out of Alumni Field.
7 home runs the Swamp Bats have had tonight for a 12-0 score.
Last pitch for Daniel Wright was his 100th.
Whoever's running the Mountaineers Twitter just referred to the Swamp Bats as the Swampy Bats.
New nickname, perhaps. This one is fouled back for strike 1. Jose Torralba is popped to second and struck out. Newport and Sanford met for the second time this season at Sanford. Again, June 20th, the Gulls took the win. They went 3-4 at Goodall Park, including the suspended game that was finished here. As this one misses ball 1 to Jose. At 275, no homers, 13 RBI in the regular season through 40 games. As this one's fouled away for strike 2. They met for the 3rd time again at Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine, June 29th. It was the Gulls that took that one 12-10. Rather, that was here at Cardinals Field at Newport. As Wright deals the pitch, it's check swing bouncer to the second baseman. Canary up with it, throws the first, and there are 2 down. They met for the 4th time in the month of July, July 14th. It was the Gulls taking a 15-2 victory on the road at Goodall Park. And then Newport lost on July 21st. Their only loss to the Mainers this summer came at Sanford, 2-1. Close game. It was John Hochstadter on the mound in that one for the Newport Gulls, who was a tough luck loser. He pitched very effectively. Pitch to Gavin Stark, who's over 2, is high and inside for ball 1.
Right now, well over 100 pitches, 105 now. Still pitching pretty well.
A 1-0. He's taking low, ball 2. He's made it to the 7th inning 4 times this season. 7 complete innings in 4 starts. At least 5 innings pitched in 7 of his starts, as this one swung on and laced down the left field line, hooking foul. Oh no, it'll be a fair ball. It'll be caught out there by Casey Kaufman. Looked like that one was going to hook foul, but curved back into fair territory, and Casey Kaufman made the catch in front of the wall. 1-2-3 inning here for Daniel Wright. We're through 6.5, and it'll be 7th inning stretch time here at Cardinals Field. Newport Gulls leading the Sanford Mainers 9-1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Nick Lehman alongside Jacob Ouellette. We go to the last of the seventh. 9-1-2 due up for the Newport Gulls. First pitch swinging. Rob Orr with a long drive to right field deep. Going back. Young still going back at the wall. And this one's high off the wall. Rob Orr will be standing at second with a leadoff double. And Art missed a home run by just a couple of feet. He hit that one out towards the corner. It looked like it hit high off the top of the fence. And Art, first pitch swinging, has his second hit of the ball game, and the Gulls' fourth double and 13th hit in this one.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely crushed, but the unique fencing out there out in the outfield for Cardines Field, keeping that ball in the ballpark. Cam Young chasing that one down, got in as quickly as he could.
Top of the order, here's Charlie White. The pitch is high and inside, ball one. Horan from the stretch, high at the letters, the 1-0 pitch. A fastball is on the outside corner. The count 1-1. Finishing up the season series between Sanford and Newport. The Gulls and Mainers met again on July 26th at Goodell Park, and that was that faithful extra inning contest. I saw Mike Coombs ejected. I saw a couple of rain delays. I saw the injury to Melillo as the pitch is outside. Ball 2 on White. Pitched base 4 times tonight, walked twice, scored twice, stole a base. Reach on an error, bounced into a fielder's choice to reach.
So the Swamp Bats just hit a grand slam. 8 home runs now, 16-0.
That's going to be close to an NECBL record for home runs in a game as the 2-1 pitch misses low to White.
Well, it's, my assumption is that no question that's a record for postseason play in the NECBL. But I can't. All their runs have come off of home runs. 16-0 they lead the Vermont Mountaineers.
Incredible for a playoff game. A hitter's count on White, 3-1. The pitch from Matt Horan. Fastball, ball 4 up and away, and Newport will have runners on at first and second for Connor Canary, who's 2 for 4 with a run scored. Well, it was July 26th when Newport and Sanford met for that fateful game. We had a 45-minute rain delay early in it, then a longer rain delay later that ended up being the suspension of the game, as we'll have a mound visit here from Lee Djukavich. In that contest, Jeff Melillo was hurt, as well as Austin Slater, though he came back one game later. The Newport Gulls saw Mike Coombs ejected after arguing a play at first base. The umpires initially walked off the field. They said the game was over on a double play ball, but it turned out the Gulls did score the tying run in the 9th inning. And then we went on to extra innings when play resumed, and after a quick 10th, the Gulls played 5 runs in the 11th, and then before we could resume play in the bottom of the 11th, it was really downpouring, and they had to call the game. As Canary steps up to the plate, the pitch, curve is in there for a strike. And the game was finished here at Cardines Field on July 30th as part of a triple header as Newport and Sanford made up another game that was rained out later. So they won 8-3 in the first game. It was Daniel Wright getting the 3 strikeouts and giving up a single to finish that contest as the pitch was low ball 1. Then Newport fell behind in game 2. They were down 4-2 in what was a 7-inning contest in the 7th. A Charlie White 2-run homer and a Brett Winger walk-off single gave the Gulls their first and only walk-off victory of the regular season. The 1-1 to Canary is high and away, ball 2. Then Newport in the nightcap again fell behind. In a back-and-forth game, this one 9 lead changes. Newport Gulls did defeat the Sanford Mainers 6-4 to sweep the tripleheader and finish the regular season at 7-1 against Sanford. 2-1. Low and inside. A hitter's count now on 3-1 on Canary. As Horan has fallen behind the second straight batter. He came on in relief in the 6th as Ron Pierce is on the hook. He went 5 innings. Horan gave up 3 runs in the 6th, though. It was 6-1 Newport, now 9-1. But here in the 7th, 2 runners on. The pitch up and away, ball 4. And without an out recorded, the Newport Gulls have loaded the bases on a double and 2 walks.
Yeah, Horn's really got to settle down here or he's in danger of really having this game be blown wide open.
It wouldn't be the only one blown wide open tonight around the NECBL. Just mentioned his 16-0 team leading Vermont with 8 or 9 home runs now. 8 home runs in the contest. Well, Danbury leads North Adams 11-1 at Rogers Park. Another bandbox. The pitch low and bounces away from the catcher. No advance for the runners. Ball 1. The Coffin, who has a sac fly, or double. He scored, single, and had a sac bunt. So 2 for 2 in the ball game. Had a very good night at the plate, as have most of the Gulls. Everybody in the lineup has a hit. the exception of Charlie White. Pitch is low, ball 2, though White has reached base 5 times, 3 walks, a fielder's choice, and an error. Elsewhere around the league, in Eastern Division action, New Bedford 6, Laconia 3, top of the 8th now at Paul Walsh Field. The 2-0 from Horan is foul tipped to the backstop and just did get a piece of it.
So another tweet here from the Mountaineers. The Swamp Bats have twice as many home runs, 8, as Vermont has hits.
That is wild. They're doing what, in a way, what they did to Newport here a couple weeks ago. They won 20-8 at Cardines Field, had 6 homers in the contest. Only worse, the 2-1 pitch. Hard hit ground ball right side. That will get through for a base hit. 1 run comes across the plate to score, and the Newport Gulls have a 10-1 lead. Connor Canary had to hold up between first and second, now getting to second base. Almost looked like for a moment the ball hit him, but he hopped over it. And Casey Kaufman has his 3rd hit of the ball game. It's an RBI single, his 2nd RBI of the postseason. Newport leads by 9, as 4 straight have reached here against Matt Horan in the 7th. Fog still rolling in here, though not as thick as it could be. Not enough to suspend the game anyway. Brett Winger is 1 for 4, fielder's choice. A run scored, a 2-run double. Takes the first pitch low and away, ball 1. Good save by Nate LaPointe. Of course, in the playoffs, there can be no shortened games. All games must be played through to completion, 9-inning contests. I doubt we'll have too much fog to suspend this one. Now with the 10-1 lead, the pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased the pitch in the dirt. Gets under LaPointe, but he finds it. It's strike 1. Winger struck out looking twice tonight. The Gulls, which led the league in strikeouts and set a new NECBL record in strikeouts of 381, 1 more than the 2004 Berkshire Dukes. Have only fanned 4 times tonight. Horan gets the sign from LaPointe. Bases loaded, the 1-1 pitch. Inside high, ball 2. Coming up in between innings, we'll keep it here live for a live look in to New Bedford and Laconia as they are in the later innings there. And the Bay Sox leading the Muskrats 6-3. The pitch, check swing, foul around the plate, fielded by LaPointe, and the count evens up at 2-2. Runners look like they were off and running on that one. Well, Mike Coombs hoping to put this one away and send Newport to Sanford tomorrow with a 1-game lead. They could win it tomorrow on the road. The 2-2. Swing and a drive! Well hit! Left field deep! Way back, and this one is high off the top of the wall. It'll be dropped by the left fielder. 2 runs come home to score. And Brett Winger launched that one. He missed a grand slam by just a few feet as that one hit off the wall. Cooper couldn't make the play on it, and the Newport Gulls now lead 12-1.
That didn't touch any part of the wall. That went off of Cooper's glove.
It hit his glove.
And the ruling, and they're going to give it a hit on that.
Well hit ball for Brett Winger, and did hit the glove. And 2 more runs come home to score, so it'll be a 2-run double for Winger, his second 2-run double of the ball game, and that's going to do it for Matt Horan. So a pitching change coming to you in this game at Cardines Field here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We'll step away from our radio coverage on AM 1220 WWSF The Legends here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, Newport 12 and Sanford 1. Action in New Bedford as the Muskrats host the Bay Sox.
And this fastball misses away for a ball. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses low and away. Bay Sox trying to do what they haven't done all season, and that's beat Laconia without scoring double digits. As this pitch is fouled away to the right. And boy, look at the moonrise over in left field. Ooh. That is something. A low full moon that is dark red right now.
It's got to be a sign. Manager Matt Allison is a big reader of the Cherokee Indians, and I would like to get his take on that.
That's true. This one lined back up the middle. The second baseman, Leathers, ranging, and and he will knock it down. It goes as a single for Zach Grotchik with one away here in the 8th. He's a big reader of the Cherokee Indians?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, he likes to hunt, and he likes to properly respect the animal spirits and stuff. So
That's Casey Williams and Mark Perlman-Price with the call as the Bay Sox lead the Muskrats 6-3 in the other Eastern Division game here tonight. Welcome back here to Cardines Field. New pitcher is Nate Jones for the Sanford Mainers. He'll be pitching to Steve Anderson as Newport leads 12-1. Runners at second and third. The pitch, swinging a foul tip to the backstop for strike one as Jones enters the game for the Mainers.
Jones has appeared in 6 games in the regular season. 5 of them started. He pitched 25 in the third innings, 42 hits, 30 runs, 26 of them earned, 13 walks, 14 strikeouts. He went 0-4 with a 9.24 ERA.
The 0-1 curve drops just outside for ball one. Brett Winger missed the Gulls' first grand slam of the summer by just a couple of feet. The ball dropped down right in front of the fence and into the glove of Cooper, but out of the glove. He couldn't make the catch. As the 1-1 is a line drive, ground ball rather to the right side. Tarabler has it, throws to first. There is the inning's first out. As the run comes across the score, it will be an RBI ground out for Steve Anderson. Newport leads 13-1.
Mainers just got to stick with it here. It's 12-1, and it's going to be a lot of work if they're going to come back from this, but still have another game to play tomorrow where they have the chance to tie the series up at 1 and bring it to a game 3.
Here's Austin Slater, ground ball bouncer to the right side. This one's going to be fielded by Stark. He'll flip to the pitcher covering, and that's out number 2, but another run comes home to score, and the Newport Gulls lead it 14-1. There'll be an RBI ground out for Austin Slater. It'll go 3-1, and now the bases are cleared, and there are 2 down for the 8th man to bat in the inning, Matt Perret. Newport scored 5 times here in the 7th. They lead 14-1 as Perret steps up, 2-run homer to center field his last time. 1 for 4 on the night. The catcher, Nate LaPointe, will go out for a word here as both inherited runners score. Those will be charged to Matt Horan. Nate Jones now has a clean slate to work with. Both on RBI ground out, so he gets the first 2 outs of the inning anyway. The pitch is low and away, ball 1 to Matt. "15 hits now in the game for Newport. As this one misses for ball 2. Jones toe the rubber from the edge of the first base side. And fire with the 2-0 delivery. Fastball is up and away, ball 3. Joel McKeithen waiting on deck, and then Rob Orr to begin this inning with the leadoff double. The pitch. It's a strike down the heart of the plate. Every goal in the lineup has a hit, the exception of Charlie White. That's only because he's walked 3 times. The pitch up and away, ball 4. Newport has their 3rd walk of the inning. Now bring up McKeithen, who's 2 for 4. A single, he reached on an error, and doubled. 3 errors for the Mainers, none for the Gulls. And now Newport and Sanford played so many errorless contests this season, but the defense hasn't been sharp tonight for Sanford. A couple plays that could have been called errors, perhaps, too.
Oh, yeah, a couple tough plays, though. I mean, Hajar, sharp ground ball over at third base, the ball just ate him up when he just tried to go to third base with it. Taralva had to make a ranging play over and more towards first base, but couldn't come up with it. Just tough plays from the defense. Nothing 100% routine, but.
Ball 1 misses the Joel McKeithen. Time called here as Jones walks around the mound. Now step back on top. Perret leads off at first. They check him. Newport 14 and Sanford 1. A 1-0 the count on McKeithen from the stretch. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Sent a fastball, blew it right by him. Count 1-1. Gulls looking for their 32nd win this summer. Finished the regular season at 31-10. They went 37-12 the year they last won the championship in 09, the pitch. And therefore strike, 1-2. This will be their 8th win against the Mainers here in 2012. And all the stats were reset at the start of this one. They're going to look like the season's been going on as 1-2 pitch. Slider misses outside, ball 2. Gulls picking up exactly where they left off at the end of the regular season. 15 hits, 14 runs, and a half dozen walks. The pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, but 9 men come to the plate for the Newport Gulls, and 5 of them score. Newport Strand's run have left 9. After 7 from Cardines Field, the Gulls 14 and the Mainers 1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
We'll
14-1, Gulls are on top here in Game 1 of the NECBL Eastern Division semifinals. Nick Lima alongside Jacob Ouellette, and Daniel Wright's night is done. He goes 7 innings, allows 1 run. It was a solo home run coming on a 1-0 pitch to Jordan Hagel with 1 out in the first. Pitches the next 6 innings scoreless, scattering 5 hits and walking 2, striking out 5, including fanning the side in order in the 4th, well over 100 pitches. And he retired the last 5 men he faced. Daniel Wright has earned the win here in Game 1 for Newport. After going 6-0 in the regular season, he'll be relieved by Brett Graves, who in the regular season was very good out of the pen. A 4.10 ERA, 1-0. Season high 12 appearances for the Gulls, including 2 starts. He had a save, worked 26 in the 3rd innings, allowing 12 runs, all of them earned on 21 hits, walking 12, striking out 36. 5 doubles, a triple, and 3 homers. Opponents hit it just .210 against Graves. Sends the first pitch strike into John Gorman, the designated hitter.
Gorman 1 for 2 on the night. Flew out to center, lined out to center back in the 5th.
0-1 fastball misses just inside, low, 1-1. Gorman appeared in 16 games in the regular season. The pitch, chopper, first base side. Anderson up with it. He'll take it himself to the bag, a step away. We're out number 1. So tomorrow will be John Hochstetter, lefty for the Gulls, a 3.56 ERA, 2-1, 6 games, 5 starts to face off against the right-hander Jerry Ferris for the Sanford Mainers. Will look to be the Mainers stopper. 3 starts, 4 games, a 2-1 record, 2.70 ERA for Ferris. 6:30 start time tomorrow.
Keene Swamp Bets, 9th home run, 19-0.
Wow. The pitch is a low ball 1. Was another 3-run homer?
I'm assuming it just...
That is incredible.
I've never...
that is absolutely a playoff record, the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
I mean, okay, playoff record. Now we're talking just any CBL single game record.
For home runs and for runs scored. Here comes Chuck Paver again, mustacheless. It's so odd to see him without a mustache. I've known him for 8 years. Well, 9 actually, as the 1-1 pitch is in there for a strike. First met Chuck in 2004 in April. I approached him about broadcasting Gulls games, and he looks about 20 years younger with that mustache shaved. Here on baseball night, and they're raising a lot of money here. We'll find out the total later. The 1-2. It's outside ball 2. It was $1,000 just for Chuck to shave his mustache. And never mind the many other players and coaches and staff like George Bissell who have their noggins buzzed or shaved here. 2-2 from Graves. Strike 3 called on the inside corner, and Young is rung up.
That was another pitch right there that had been pretty much called a ball all night long, and you can see the frustration from Young on that call. And that one looked to be maybe just a bit inside, but strike 3 says home plate umpire Timothy Carey.
Well, Pat Burns has been very inconsistent tonight. Is Will Cooper. The pitch is swung on a ground ball, chopper right side. Fielded by Anderson. He'll take himself to the bag. That'll be the out that retires his side. Another 1-2-3 inning. This one for the Gulls bullpen, Brett Graves. And after 7.5 from Cardines Field, we go to the last of the 8th here in Newport. Gulls leading the Mainers 14-1 here in the Eastern Division semifinals of the NECBL on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field in Newport. There's Mike Coombs in the dugout for the Newport Gulls. Already probably wondering about tomorrow's lineup for Newport as they'll look to take a most likely 1-0 series lead into Game 2 at Goodall Park. Coombs, his Gulls have done the job tonight. Pitching, defense, and offense, an errorless game. Solid 7 innings with Danny Wright, allowed just 1 run. And the offense has, of course, played 14 runs as the Gulls lead 14-1. As Rob Ort, who began the 7th with a leadoff double, will begin the 8th inning here against the new pitcher for the Sanford Mainers.
It'll be Al Zier to end the regular season. Zier appeared in 8 games for the Mainers, all of them out of the bullpen. He threw 11.1 innings, 16 hits, 13 runs, all of them earned, 13 walks, 9 strikeouts. He went 0-1 with a 10.32 ERA. His ERA getting hit after giving up 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th in a completion game against the Keene Swamp Bats. That final score going to the Mainers 18-13.
First pitch is a called strike to Ort. The second one is up and away, ball 1. So Zier replaces Jones and Horan. And Pierce, the 4th pitcher of the night for Sanford. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. He was way out in front of an off-speed delivery, 1-2. Ort 2 for 4. Flied to center twice. Doubled and had an RBI single. He's really lasered the ball around the field tonight. Outfield plays him deep. The 1-2 delivery. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 6th strikeout of the night for Mainers pitching. And we'll cycle around to the top of the order. And Charlie White, the only goal without a hit, though he's been on base 5 times. He's scored 3 runs, has walked 3 times, reached an error and bounced into a fielder's choice. And that is how his night will end. With a pinch hitter coming to the plate, John Norwood will take over for White in the center field. So Norwood enters the game here, making his first playoff appearance. Norwood, 280 average, 2 homers, 14 RBI in the regular season, takes the first pitch strike. Norwood a double, 4 doubles and a triple, along with his 2 home runs. Along with 10 walks, a .372 on base percentage, awaits the pitch and is found to the screen. The count 0-2 to the pinch hitter here.
A game at Paul Walsh Field has gone final. New Bedford Baysox taking Game 1 of their series, their Eastern Division semifinal series against the Laconia Muskrats 6-3. They'll be at Robbie Mills Field tomorrow.
0-2 pitches, low ball 1. Laconia, New Hampshire. Tomorrow for the Baysox as Laconia looks to stave off elimination after eliminating the Gulls in the first round. 2 games to zip last year. First time in franchise history it happened to Newport. The 1-2 curve is foul tip to the tip of the backstop and bounces around in the on-deck circle. Picked up by the Gulls bat boy. You're on Gulls baseball night, and I see a few bald heads there in the stands, including some of the Gulls staff and owners. Maybe some bald heads, not because they got their head shaved, but maybe just because of old age. As the pitch misses ball 2 to Norwood, the pinch hitter.
And it looks like the Swamp Bats have the bases loaded now, so a chance to do some more damage.
Haven't they done enough?
Will they enter into double-digit home run totals? Who knows? We'll find out.
A 2-2. A little bit low ball 3. Well, we knew Vermont didn't have much pitching. That was their downfall all year. They certainly had the horses around the base pass. A lot of stolen bases. They had a lot of offensive power, that big offensive game against Holyoke, but pitching was always a low point for the Mountaineers in 2012. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Al Zier here in relief in the 8th. And we'll see Jeff Melillo. So here's Melillo, who will make his first playoff appearance. He'll put a anchor guard over his left shin and around his foot. Jeff Melillo, who was hurt against the Sanford Mainers last Thursday, enters the game here for the Newport Gulls as Canari's taken out of the game for a pinch hitter, Jeff Melillo, making his first playoff appearance. Melillo hit .404. He's the NECBL batting champion. 5 homers, 30 RBI, 12 doubles, 26 walks in 27 games. No bat here against Al Zier, pitch hitting in the 8th. The pitch. swinging a foul to the screen. It was Melillo who had that pinch hit single, and was then replaced quickly by Blake Butera. And he came around to score the tying run on the home run by Charlie White here at Cardines Field against Sanford on Monday. In the 7th inning, the 0-1. Swinging a drive to left field. The left fielder coming in, he'll make the catch. Cooper will put away Melillo. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning here in the 8th as Melillo gave that ball a ride. We go to the home half of the 8th. Newport 14 and Sanford 1 here in the NECBL quarterfinals, the Eastern Division playoffs on the NECBL Broadcast Network. So we go to the 9th. Newport 14 and Sanford 1. First pitch strike in there to Jordan Hagel, who's 3 for 3 for the Mainers tonight. An infield hit, a single. He was caught stealing in the 3rd, and a solo home run to left. He's accounted for all their scoring tonight. Came on a 1-0 pitch with a 1 out in the 1st. The pitch is low. Count 1-1. Did he offer? Yes, he did, actually, says the first base umpire, Jeff January. And the count 0-2. So John, a couple of defensive changes here in the 9th for Newport as Graves will deal the 0-2 pitch. High for ball 1. John Norwood would take over for Charlie White out in center field. Blake Butera will take over for Connor Canary, who was pitch hit by Jeff Melillo at second base. 1-2 pitches swung on and looped over Butera's head in the right field. That'll be a leadoff single for Jordan Hagel, and he is 4 for 4.
Yeah, let's talk about a very good night for Hagel. Of course, the rest of his team couldn't be on the same page as he was, but Hagel certainly some personal pride coming out of this game.
So with Norwood and Butera now in the game, all the Newport Gulls available bench players have been emptied here. Here's Anthony Hajar, who walked, bounced into a double play, and grounded out. Tonight's attendance, 2,826 as the pitch is fouled away for strike 1. 2,826. One of the larger crowds of the season. Not bad for opening night of the postseason. The game's not even on the schedule. And we have some other good news for you. The runner leads off first. The pitch fouled away for strike 2. $15,932 has now been raised for Gulls baseball tonight to support kids with cancer and cancer research. They've raised over $3,000 tonight alone. The 0-2. Ground ball chopper to the shortstop. Fielded by McKeithen. No, looks at second, throws across to first, and there's 1 out as he gets the sure play at first base. Hit and run as Hagel's on at second. 6-3 on the ground out. There's 1 away for Jordan Betts, who's flied out twice and grounded out.
And the Mainers haven't had a runner on second base since all the way back in the 2nd inning. Going in order, going 1, 2, 3 in the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th.
What a game it has been for the Newport Gulls. They've done everything right here tonight.
You want to talk about, again, the not a home run, but the Swamp Bats leading the Vermont Mountaineers 22-0.
Wow. Pitch is low, ball 1. That is certainly a playoff record and maybe an all-time record as far as run differential if Vermont can't get on the board in game 1 of that playoff series. The 1-0 from Graves is low, ball 2. Daniel Wright went 7 strong innings tonight. Struck out the side in order in the 4th. Struck out 5 overall. Tied the last 5 men he faced. Only allowed 1 hit after the 3rd and 5 hits on the night. 1 run in the 1st. A 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. 2-1. And tomorrow will be Newport and Sanford at 6:30 at Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine. John Hackstetter for the Gulls. Jerry Ferris for the Mainers. Will be on the air the pregame show at 6:20. Graves gets a sign from Perret. From the stretch. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. A big cut that time from Betts, and the count evens up at 2-2. The runner at second, 1 out in the 9th. Newport, 13-run advantage here. Graves has a long look in. Now from the stretch. He deals. The runner goes. Outside, ball 3. Will be defensive indifference. No stolen base for Jordan Hagel. So now runner at third. The Mainers have been held scoreless since the 1st.
Mountaineers under their 7th pitcher, and it's their center fielder, O'Grady.
Not the game 1 they were expecting after they edged out Holyoke for that 4th playoff spot. The 3-2 pitch inside for ball 4. I'll put the runners at the corners with 1 out. And set up a double play possibility as Nate LaPointe will come up to the plate. LaPointe 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout, and he grounded out his last time.
Every hitter in the Swamp Bats lineup has, with the exception of 3 of them, has gone up to bat 6 times. And you got to figure that's only 2 errors and only 1 walk allowed. Excuse me, on the flip side here. 5 walks issued.
First pitch of LaPointe, ground ball bouncer, right side, stop by Anderson, flips the first out there on his second, and it pops out of the glove of McKeithen, the shortstop. Not in time to turn 2 as a run comes home to score. It'll be an RBI ground out, 3 unassisted for Nate LaPointe, and the Mainers played their second run of the ball game.
So at least the Mainers here still fighting in the top of the 9th. This game, you could pretty much say is way out of reach at this point, but still some encouraging signs that they're still going up there fighting. 2 outs and getting a few base runners on, and it's left up to Tarabla now.
First pitch is low ball 1 to Jose Tarabla, who's 0 for 3. You do have some totals in that baseball number. $4,125 raised here tonight at Cardines Field. $15,875 overall this summer. The pitch, a ground ball bouncer, stabbed by Graves. He has it, he throws to first, and the Newport Gulls have defeated the Sanford Mainers here in game 1. This one's over as the Gulls defeat Sanford 14-2. The final score here at Cardines Field. A great play made by Brett Graves to end the ball game as Mike Coombs' Newport Gulls led by an offensive attack that included 15 hits, 14 runs, and no errors as the Gulls defeat Sanford here by a final score of 14-2. Don't go away. We'll be back. We'll have a post-game report coming up next. A full post-game show here tonight at Cardines Field as they're setting up chairs now on the infield for the Gulls players to get their heads shaved after this one. Newport Gulls win it here 14-2 the final. The post-game report begins next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Game 1 is in the books. The Gulls wallop the Sanford Mainers 14-2 the final score. The totals in this one for the visiting Mainers: 2 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors, 4 left on base. For the Newport Gulls, 14 runs on 15 hits, no errors, and they surrendered 9. The game took 2 hours and 30 minutes to play. It was watched by a sellout crowd of 2,826 here on Gulls Baseball Night, where they also raised $15,875 and $4,125 just here tonight for kids with cancer. Starters in this one were the pitchers of record. Daniel Wright gets his first playoff win. 7 innings, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Allowed a home run. That was the difference. The only run allowed was to Jordan Hagel back in the first. Threw a season high 108 pitches, 65 of them for strikes. Meanwhile, Ron Pierce went 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, 4 of them earned. On 9 hits, walked 3, struck out 2, threw 100 pitches, 64 for strikes. Matt Perret hit his first playoff homer here tonight, a 2-run bomb, as the Newport Gulls cruise to victory 14-2 against the Sanford Mainers. Play game 2 tomorrow, an elimination game for the Mainers. Newport, no matter what, guaranteed to come back to the Cardines Field for at least one more game. Jacob, lost to the Sanford Mainers, will look to put behind them here tonight and rebound tomorrow when the score gets reset.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a matter of you gotta put it behind you. You can't go into tomorrow looking at this game. You got to go into tomorrow looking at tomorrow. That's all it really is. I mean, I really fully believe Pierce really didn't pitch that bad of a game, even though the loss was credited to him. It was just a matter of the Gulls offense hopping on all over the strikes, the strikes that he threw, and put them in places where the Mainers couldn't handle it. Yeah, the Mainers had 3 errors, but were they really obvious routine plays? No, there was a couple of them that were stretched out a little bit, but obviously were errors, and it was a tough night for the Mainers. You got to go home tomorrow, keep your head up, and focus and work on pushing game 3.
Jacob will see you tomorrow in Sanford, Maine at Goodall Park. On the air, the pregame show at 6:20. First pitch at 6:30. Pitch John Hochstatter for the Newport Gulls against Jerry Ferris for the Mainers. As we sign off here on AM 1220, The Legends, WWSF in Sanford, Maine, on the NECBL Broadcast Network and NCTV Newport County Television. We'll be back in a moment and have our out-of-town scores next as we continue on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field as Some Gulls players start to get their heads shaved down on the field. We'll give you some look at the out-of-town scores here in night 1 of the NECBL playoffs. They're in the top of the ninth at Alumni Field in Keene, New Hampshire. 9 home runs for the Swamp Hats. They lead the Vermont Mountaineers 22-0. At Rogers Park in Danbury, Connecticut, also in the top of the ninth, the Westerners lead the Steeplecats 14-1. And it is a final out of Paul Walsh Field in New Bedford, Massachusetts. The Bay Sox leading the Muskrats 6-3. So as things go for tomorrow, as all of the favorites have won here tonight, or are about to win, all the underdogs losing here tonight, all those underdogs will return home to their home ballparks tomorrow and look to even up their season series as Vermont, North Adams, Laconia, and Sanford look to stave off elimination. Again, the final score here in Newport, the Gulls 14 and the Mainers 2. Over down the field, our player of the game interview coming up in a few minutes. But first, Tim Scott is here with us with the stats of the game next as our postgame show continues here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Again, the final score here in the Newport Gulls 14, the Sanford Mainers 2. Tomorrow, 6:20 pregame show. First pitch at 6:30 at Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine. Pitch John Hochstadt, a lefty for the Gulls, 2-1 in 6 games, 5 starts, a 3.56 ERA for Newport to face Jerry Ferris, the right-hander for the Mainers, a 2.70 ERA, 2-1 in 4 games and 3 starts in the regular season. Tim Scott, what's next?
Well, thank you, Nick. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very impressive win tonight by the Newport Gulls. So the impressive totals keep racking up. Newport Gulls getting another great win, 14-2. They had a run in every inning except for the 8th inning, which is very impressive. More offense for the Gulls. They're racking up offensive numbers at record rates, and the Gulls have really shown this greatness tonight. And this is no evidence of past performance. This is good evidence of past performances. I'm sorry. The Gulls have won 4 NECBL championships, twice against Keene, once and twice against Sanford. But Sanford has won both of their titles against Newport in 2004 and 2008. But a very, very great team this year. Hopefully going for that 5th Fay Vincent Cup, which no other team in the NECBL has accomplished yet. So the Gulls looking to put themselves in more historic company. Here's some more information. John Hochstadter, very interesting and talented starting pitcher for the Gulls. His numbers in the month of July were very impressive, and they were very helpful to how the Gulls overpowered everybody else in the NECBL. Hochstadter had an ERA in the 2s in the month of July, and that really bolstered his status as a power starter here for the Gulls. His season totals on the air in the regular season, 2-1 with a 3.56 ERA. He also had 24 strikeouts. 24 strikeouts. As you can see on the field right now, the Gulls players starting to get their head shaved in support of curing childhood cancer. Very good cause there. And it's good that the Gulls are getting their head shaved to support the cause. So the Gulls team ERA of 3.96 was the best in the NECBL this year. In an offensive power league, the Gulls had a big advantage in pitching. The next lowest ERA was 4.69. And that was by the Sanford Mainers, who allowed 14 runs tonight. But still, the Newport Gulls really have raised the bar in collegiate baseball once again, putting up good offensive numbers and good pitching numbers, and that is really evident in the performance tonight as they beat the Sanford Mainers 14-2. They have set team records in walks, on-base percentage, doubles, and strikeouts. Strikeouts as hitters, not pitching. On-base percentage of .422 was a key statistic. Walks, they had a total of 233 as a team. Doubles, 99. During the regular season, there were plenty of hits tonight, though. The Gulls had 14 runs on 15 hits, no errors, and 9 left on base. The Sanford Mainers had 2 runs on 6 hits with 3 errors and 4 left on base tonight. So clear offensive advantage tonight, but that's all the time we have for tonight. Now let's go to Nick Lima with the Player of the Game interview.
Welcome back here at Cardines Field. Thank you very much, Tim Scott, as we're here with our Newport Gulls Game 1 pitcher as the team gets their head shaved behind you. Daniel, you'll be getting in a line here in a moment for that, but you were the big win as Chris Pastos now comes over here.
What's up, brother?
Chris.
Come on, you didn't get it tightened up. Come on, you didn't get it tightened
Shave here tonight. Big night here for the Gulls, Chris.
That's for Daniel. He needed a little help tonight, so we got it done, baby. Great job tonight. Outstanding. These returning guys all stepped it up tonight. Connor, Daniel, Rob, all showed the way. Lead the way, baby. That's what it's all about. Great job tonight. Very proud of you.
Chris Pastos here with us momentarily as we're now joined by Newport Gulls starting pitcher Daniel Wright. Daniel, you went 6-0 in the regular season, the starter for the All-Star team, and here tonight you were the Game 1 starter for the Newport Gulls. 7 innings, struck out 5, struck out the side in the 4th inning, scattered 5 hits. Just that one run was a home run given up in the 1st inning.
Yeah, it took me a while to get going, but the hitters picked me up when I gave up that home run in the 1st. They came right back and scored a run, and when they put up 14, it makes it a lot easier to pitch.
14 runs on 15 hits tonight for the Newport Gulls, and that offense picked up right where they left off in the regular season.
Yeah, like you said, they've been doing it all season. Hopefully they can keep it going in the playoffs. Hopefully the hair doesn't affect them at all. So, if we put up 14 runs a game, we're going to be all right.
How about that defense behind you here tonight? Connor Canary, a couple good defensive plays all around. No errors for Newport. It's a lot of good defensive plays all around.
Yeah, Connor's play was big, and I think it was in the 3rd or 4th to get me in a groove, and that double play was big. So.
Ty, the last 5 men you faced, there were 2 key double play balls late in the ball game as the Mainers just couldn't manage anything either against yourself or Brett Graves, who came on to relieve you in the 8th and 9th.
Yeah, Brett did a great job. He just threw it by him, really. He's been doing a great job all season, and hopefully we can keep it up down the road.
Is this how you envisioned this night to go? Everything went going perfectly here for the Newport Gulls, who also raised, by the way, $15,000, including $4,000 here tonight for Kids with Cancer.
Yeah, it was great to get the win and great for the cancer program. It's great to support the community like this, and it's pretty fun.
Dan, you're right. Tomorrow, the Newport Gulls go back on the road at Sanford, Maine, at Goodall Park. They'll have John Hochstadter looking to perhaps give this Gulls team a series sweep.
Yeah, John did a great job last time when he was there. I think he gave up 2 runs or something. So hopefully he can do it again, and I'm sure he will. He's been doing great all season.
Dan, you're right. You're a Newport Gulls player of the game. Looking forward to getting your head shaved here tonight.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us here. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in a moment as a post-game report continues here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Well, what a sight it is here at Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. Nick Lima here with you on our post-game report. And, we talked about it all day long, how important this night would be for the Newport Gulls baseball night with the Quinnick Medical and the St. Baldrick's Foundation. 2009 Newport Gull Mike Milillo helped coordinate this night because he lives up here in Newport now. His younger brother Jeff Milillo has been on the team for the last 2 years, as you all know. And tonight, we're seeing this all come to fruition here at Cardines Field. We have some members of the Gulls staff here who have gone bald here for Kids with Cancer, now joined by Newport Gulls head groundskeeper Dennis Houck.
How you doing? Yeah, it's a great charity, and I'm proud to have helped out in a small way.
When did you have your head shaved here tonight?
When? About the 8th inning. Were the chairs busy all night long? They were. They were very busy. They've made a lot of money for St. Baldrick's, and again, I just think it's great.
They didn't have a bounty on your head, did they?
No, there was no bounty on my head. This was willfully done by myself.
Oh, Dennis, thanks for joining us here.
Right. Pleasure.
As we keep it here live here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, we have a number of members of the Gulls grounds crew, Gulls staff. Of course, Chris Patsos, the Vice President of Baseball Operations. He got a buzz cut here. Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Pava. He shaved his mustache for the first time in his life. Chuck Pava, who's now going and shaking the hands of some of the Gulls staff here as the entire team now getting their heads shaven here at Cardines Field. It really is a sight to behold. Brett Graves, who has some of the longest hair amongst any Newport Gulls on the team, is about to get his head shaved. The whole team out there really is just a fun night here at Cardines Field as they all do it for a good cause, raising, again, thousands of dollars to help cure kids' cancer. Just a sensational and very successful night here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Just listen to the crowd. So you got your head shaved here tonight? How was it up there?
Good.
When did you get it shaved? Just now?
No, a couple minutes ago.
All right. Thank you for your support here tonight. As many fans, young fans and old fans alike, whether they have hair to shave or they don't, are getting it shaved here tonight at Cardines Field in support of people with cancer, particularly children, here in Gulls baseball night. And, really it's just a wild sight behind us here. There's still hundreds of people here at Cardines Field, not only celebrating the Newport Gulls' big victory here tonight against the Sanford Mainers by a score of 14-2, but also coming together for a very good cause here, and it is really a wild, wild evening here at Cardines Field. We'll keep it here live as we continue on the NECBR Broadcast Network.
How you doing? Don't lose it.
We're still here live now. George Bissell, Director of Game Day Operations, he's here with us now. He had his head, well, they didn't shave your head. Looks like they gave you a little bit of buzz cut.
Not quite, Nick. Actually, it's a funny story. Last summer, I shaved my head not for cancer. Accidentally, my younger brother cut my hair, and he just shaved my head. So I've already done this once before. So I know that I made that mistake before. But I had to do it for the spirit of the night and what we're trying to do here. Just a great night overall. The Gulls win big on the field, and then we're able to do something great like this and give something back to the community and help fight cancer. And Nick Lehman's dancing on camera.
Yeah, we got Love Is Gone, the old Newport Gulls theme. You remember they used to do this in between innings?
I remember. We used to get this going. It was Pat Light, Mark Appel, all the guys used to get it going. So, yeah, 2010, and good memories. I think this is a feel-good night here for the Gulls. I think, reality will set in tomorrow when everybody takes to the bus with their shaven heads and they realize they have to play a game up on the road in Maine. But, it feels good right now, and these players are enjoying themselves, and they're all going to have nice new haircuts at the end of the night.
George, you heard the Gulls raised over $15,000 as part of this, including $4,000 just here tonight.
Yeah, it didn't start here tonight. I think that's the most important thing to recognize about this whole night. Yeah, we did $3,000 or $4,000 here, but the effort started months ago, and there was events at Second Beach. Mike Melillo and his team over at Aquatic Medical, they did an outstanding job promoting this all throughout the spring and the summer. Remember, we were supposed to hold this event on July 20th, so that gave us a little extra time, but, leading up to that date, we still had raised a ton of money, and it all goes to a great cause, and that's what we're all trying to do here, is give something back to the community and to kids who need it. This guy over here, Mike Melillo, did an outstanding job, so yeah, we got to give him all the credit in the world for putting together such a great night, and you can just see how special it is.
Hey, Mike. Thank you very much, George, for joining us here.
No problem, Nick. Great job.
Mike Melillo, you look like you've lost a little hair here tonight.
I went down a little bit earlier. It was nice to see good Gulls win, and it was unbelievable support from everybody. We had a great time.
Heard $15,000 plus raised, including over $4,000 here tonight.
Over 4 and almost at 16 now with the final donations coming in. So right on there, and for a first time running this event, I couldn't ask for more. It was awesome.
Now, Mike, you're, of course, a former Gull. We got a lot of fans listening and watching here around the NECBR Broadcast Network. They'll see this game on public access in the weeks to come. If they have a way that they want to donate after seeing this tonight's broadcast, is there a way that you can still donate after tonight?
Absolutely. You can go to stbaldricks.com/events/Newport and go on, or you can just type in Google Newport Gulls St. Baldrick's, and you can go on and donate via credit card, anything. We're going to leave it open for a few days after the fact and tally it up, but again, thank you to everybody who participated, who couldn't be here tonight, who made their donations. It was fantastic, and it was a great success tonight.
And how about the entire team behind us right now as hundreds of fans look on, and this big 14-2 win, now they're all getting the head shake.
It's a special scene. You don't see this on a baseball diamond too often, and to see all the guys come in and do it, and they're all taking their hair down. Some had some pretty long hair, so it's special. It tells what kind of guys Chuck and Patsos bring in here on an annual basis, and that they're willing to do this right now. And it's cool. It's a neat scene here, and you see how the community rallies around it. It makes it all worth it.
Of course, your hair is shorter here tonight. Did you lose any hairs or get any gray hairs trying to put this all together?
No gray hairs. It wasn't too bad, and I figured I couldn't be telling everybody else to take their hair down and not do it myself. So it was good. And all the barbers who came out from All American Barbers and Quick Cuts and Kira's Salon, they volunteered their time and helped us out a big time. So.
Mike Melillo, the coordinator of tonight's event, thanks for joining us here.
Nick.
Great work. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Very successful night. Well, I'm Nick Lima here at Cardines Field. We'll be back in a moment and wrap things up next as we continue here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Well, welcome back here one final time at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. On a very special night here, Gulls baseball night. The Gulls have a big first playoff win as they improve to 1-0 in postseason play. Newport, 14-2 victory against the Sanford Mainers here tonight. They go back on the road. John Hochstetter will have the start tomorrow as the Gulls will play at Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine. Jacob Ouellette and I will have the call on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Over the on-the-air, the pregame show at 6:20, first pitch at 6:30 as the Gulls take on the Mainers in Game 2. Newport looks for the series sweep, and the Mainers look to force what could be a Game 3 back here at Cardines Field on Sunday. Either way, Newport will play here at home Sunday or Monday in either the finale of this three-game series or the first game of the NECBL Eastern Division Championship Series. Follow NewportGulls.com, at Newport Gulls on Twitter, or Facebook.com/Newport Gulls for more information. Let's pause a moment and thank those who made tonight's very memorable broadcast possible. The executive producer of Newport Gulls Baseball is Tom Lima. Our director, Catherine Haas. Our producer, Everton Carter. Our associate producer, Milko Tolich. Our on-site engineer, Brian Christie. Our production assistant, Rob Sanchez. Our audio technician, Jackie Beatrice. Our statistician, Tim Scott. For Jacob Ouellette, I'm Nick Lima here at Cardines Field. Gulls win it here, 14-2 the final score. Go back on the road for Game 2 tomorrow at Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine. Again, on the air, the pregame show at 6:20, first pitch at 6:30. We'll hope you join us then as the Gulls raise over $15,000 and $4,000 here tonight for kids with cancer on baseball night at Cardines Field. Again, the final score, Newport 14, Sanford 2. Game 2 coming up tomorrow night. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Until our next one, so long, everybody.